T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it begins.
I don't give a fuck who's on this show, bro. I don't give a fuck. Kylo is okay, man.
I don't want you smirking that shit because you didn't see anything to begin with. Shut your ass up.
You actually do that shit.
At least we actually watched the fucking episode.
Eso fue lo que sentí. Todavía siento odio por Hayward. Espero que en el último episodio de la nada llegue alguien y lo apuñale. Eso. Como que.
¿Cómo se dice? Puñeta. Bad taste en película. I admit it. Yo digo que I love watching bad movies on a Sunday.
I love it.
Está cabrón. That's way. So what is good, everybody? It's another Sunday. You with the crew after school club, the greatest geek podcast in the multiverse. How's everybody doing? Everybody looks real fucking tired.
Yeah, we are. We're tired. It has been a long weekend.
We look fantastic. We look like we definitely want to be here today. You can feel the energy.
The skeleton behind Miguel.
It's pulsating from us. It's emanating from us.
All right,
Mom spaghetti, bro.
Mom spaghetti. All right, so yeah, a couple things happened this week. We got a couple of topics right now. Liquid can't be with us. Liquid is having fucking problems with Liberty, like everybody on this fucking island with fucking Liberty and Luma biting that fucking bullet real hard. But yeah, we're gonna get into a couple of things. First thing that's on the list today is Venom. Venom came out. I can say easily is surpassing, at least financially, what everybody thought it was going to do, for better or worse. If you thought it was stupid, if you thought it was good, whatever you thought, it is actually making a pretty penny. It's up to 70. People are saying that we might get into the 80 or the 90. And if it does that, it's easily the highest grossing weekend since fucking coronavirus started. You guys saw the movie. What did you think about it? Anybody?
¿Quieres ir tú primero, Miguel?
We're garbage ass human beings that like consuming garbage, bro. That's what it is. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, like to sit here and say the movie has things that like piss me off, but to say that the movie's like completely boring, it's not boring at all. It has things to it. It moves at a fast pace, but it's just these choices they make just like really irk the shit out of me. I remember like I watched the day of that I went to watch the actual sequel or whatever. I sat and watched the first one before it. And then I realized, I was like, I have not watched this movie since it came out, since I saw it the first time in the theaters, which like was refreshing. And at the same time, it was like, I must have really not liked this movie to watch it again since. As the movie's going on, I'm like, oh, okay. I remember now why I didn't watch this, because it does things with the main character that like really kind of trigger me or whatever. Like I didn't like the whole, I said it in the review, the imbecile Eddie the imbecile routine they take. But, you know, I guess it made money. Like it was pretty funny or whatever. It worked for some people.
When you say Eddie the imbecile, what do you mean?
Like,
what do they do?
He's very fucking buffoonish character. Like, I don't understand how they balance the trope of like he's a very intelligent fucking journalist with he's a fucking very stupid loser trope. Like, I don't get it. And they literally push that really hard because they're constantly, everybody around him refers to him as the fuck up, the loser that he can't get anything right. He's basically a fucking idiot. Like they literally in the sequel,
demasiado.
Yeah, like they beat you over the fucking head with it. Like, es un idiota, un pendejo. Like, he never gets anything right. But yet he's this award-winning journalist that has his own show. Like, so I always find myself in the first one. I didn't realize it. I realized that like they were pushing that trope, and in the second one they really hammer home. Like, basically, I think did I get it right? Like, were they trying to like push the theory on you that like Venom is literally the brains and the brawn
Orengo in the house.
Because what's
I,
up,
I,
Orengo?
I did not even notice it was one. I am so sorry. I was like doing something on Instagram. I was like posting something that I'm like
Don't
looking at
worry.
like,
We're not
oh
important.
God.
No, I'm kidding.
Time flew by too quickly. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Venom right now.
Oh, cool.
Ya,
So-
yo creo que la película lo que hicieron fue como que no darle ningún tipo de balance a Venom y a Eddie juntos, en el sentido de que le pusieron la inteligencia, el todo, como que dice a Venom. Y tú te quedas pensando como que, pero espérate.
There's scenes, right? There's scenes when they're separate that basically make it look like Eddie is just the vessel, like nothing but the vessel. Like he's
like
not
the
smart.
perfect vessel.
He's not like coordinated or nothing like that. It's just the whole like a shell, like a pretty shell for Venom to be in. Like,
Lo cual, mano, o sea, no sé cuál fue la decisión de. Bueno, tengo una teoría de por qué fue la decisión, pero después voy a llegar a eso. Pero a mí algo que me sacó por techo de esta película, generalmente, la primera vez que lo vi, y eso todos los reviews lo han dicho, y verdad, esta es una película sobre como que un toxic friendship or relationship, como que son las semejanzas de ambos son abusivos con ellos. Ambos son súper abusivos con ellos, o sea, los dos, punto. Los dos son igual de assholes, por eso pues se pertenecen al final, porque es como que son el mismo tipo de... Ajá, they're in sync, por eso. Algo que encontré como que bien raro, a veces tú estableces ciertas cosas en diálogo y no es para dejarlo flotando. Y la conexión entre, se me olvida el nombre, Cassidy, Cletus, ¿cómo es que se llama Woody Harrelson en la película?
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy. Y Eddie Brock, la relación entre ellos dos me estaba súper extraña, como que fuera de lugar, como que era un plot friendship o algo así por el estilo. En el momento que le dijo lo de la mamá, yo dije, espérate, ¿cómo tú sabes del pasado de Eddie? ¿Cómo tú sabes eso de la mamá? Como que cuando él investigó de él, cómo ellos se conocían antes. Yo creo que hasta en la serie animada, en los cómics, todo está mejor explicado cómo es que ellos se encuentran, pero aquí fue como que súper random de la nada. Carnage como salió fue una mierda. Generalmente, no sé si se acuerdan de un episodio que dije vacilando que si eso era la razón que Carnage existía en el episodio, yo me iba a levantar del cine y me iba a ir. Y cuando fue genuinamente eso, no me levanté del cine. Genuinamente no me levanté del cine, pero
tú sabes que but I think it's a joke. It's a pun, and I realized it the other days. Do you remember what happens when he's writing the letter? There's a certain scene with a spider, and he says, "This isn't an origin story." He smashes the spider. What happens in the Spider-Man movies?
Bro. Eso sería.
It's so weird. I don't know what happens in a Spider-Man movie.
You get bit by a spider.
Do you?
So, yes, you get bit by a spider, and then you get your powers.
Does Batman get bit by a bat?
No.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, the way they play it in the movie is like while he's writing a memoir, he basically says it's not an origin story, and a spider creeps up onto his letter. He smacks it, and then when he meets Eddie, he bites Eddie, and that's how he gets his power. He's the fucking spider.
Yeah.
Like,
el cantito que coge de sangre, él lo toca y cuando lo de esto tiene pullitas como si fuera un micro symbiote y se lo come. Y yo como que me quedé como que en el cine, yo, esto de verdad, no había pensado en lo de la araña, fíjate. Pero yo pienso que eso es una araña.
That's the funny thing. Like they go for stuff that's why like I was saying when I started talking about it. It's like they push tropes so hard and they go so hard in the direction of what they thought worked in the first one. That it's just like, it gets kind of fucking cringy sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? The slapstick comedy, the whole Eddie the imbecile thing. Like, I really don't understand how they took a character and like they fine, it's a different interpretation of it. Like I always like different interpretations, but fuck, man, did they lean hard on some tropes from the first one on this one? Like they really leaned heavy.
I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the first one. I think, at least for me, what it was just when they first announced Venom is getting his own movie, I got really hyped. Then when they announced that it was gonna be Tom Hardy, I'm a fan of Tom Hardy. I really like Tom Hardy. I guess I just built what this movie was gonna
Another
look
movie
like,
in your
what it was gonna feel like.
You thought he was gonna be the character from The Fighter.
I thought it was gonna.
No, from what's the name of that movie? It's not The Fighter. It's
Warrior.
Warrior. You thought Eddie Brock was gonna be the MMA guy from The Warrior because he's big, he's bulky, he's all.
I thought we was gonna get something that felt like Spawn, with him like with that body and shit, and it is like the opposite. It's like really, really at the extreme other side of what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's not totally unfounded that he's not the smartest tool in the shed. Like Eddie Brock in the comics always gets outsmarted by Spider-Man because he's a job.
Pero by Spider-Man, exacto.
Exacto. Because
not by everybody.
Anybody getting outsmarted by Spider-Man, that would not make you an idiot. Like by any terms, you know what I mean? Like the guy.
But even on the basis of what the film is, in la primera, he's a reporter, so he's not an imbecile.
But that's my point. That's what I was telling Deca. I was like, I don't understand then how they try to make you believe that this guy is such a fucking moron, but yeah, he's an award-winning journalist with his own show. Like I can't be sold on it. So I jump back and forth of like I don't get this character.
Esto es lo mismo que hicieron con Thor. The Thor al principio, he wasn't an idiot. He was egocentric. He was como que self-centered, pero he wasn't an idiot. Then ya para la tercera, he's a bumbling idiot.
He's bro Thor.
Yeah, exacto. He's a bumbling idiot que no tiene propósito. So I think it's just one of those things donde they were smart, porque they're smart. They leaned on the stuff that worked on the first one. It was basically like 2 or 3 things. So they were like, okay, let's take the shit that works. Let's not think about it too much and just let's kind of tell something a little bit different, pero para mi entender no es tan diferente de la primera. And just lean hard on the elements that actually work.
It's very much like the first one.
Pero esa es la cosa. You, as a producer, think about it. You made a movie that, por el mero hecho de que era Venom, is sort of tied to Spider-Man, it made a buttload of money. But you realize that the criticisms are not unfounded. So what do you do for a second one? Do you try to reinvent the wheel? Do you keep going with what you have, but try to make it work better in the second one? Like it's a difficult position porque tú no puedes entonces rápido cambiar la comic accurate Venom en la segunda because it's just gonna fall flat on his face porque todo el mundo va a cuestionar but then why the fuck wasn't it in the first one? It's so different from the first one. Might as well just even like why even see the first film in the first place? So entonces como que as a producer you're like well I gotta like take the stuff that works, which wasn't a lot, y entonces implementarlo en la segunda, push it further, porque obviamente es a sequel, y pues, as a result, you make a caricature of your former character, que es lo que termina pasando en esta.
This movie gave me existential crisis. And Orengo, with all due respect, how old are you?
I am 31.
You're 31. Okay, I'm 3 years your elder. Yeah. I had to call Orengo, I had to message Orengo and ask him for guidance.
Yes.
Because I literally there was a trope in this movie that I don't know if it worked for you, Orengo, the whole lethal protector thing.
I haven't seen it.
I'm sorry, Deke.
I'm just assuming.
Deke.
The lethal protector?
The lethal protector, that whole joke, the gag. I reached a point where I was just like, stop it with this shit. Like, stop. I get it. You're referencing the fucking comic. This whole thing is based on it. I get it. And then I took a step back and I was like, Oño, like, I have to self-evaluate. Like, wait a second. Am I being biased here just because I don't like this movie? Because if they get... I told Rengo, I was like... and one part of me is criticizing this because it's so fucking corny. But on the other thing is just like... If I see the Spider-Man, the No Way Home movie, and I get the whole 3 Spider-Men pointing at each other joke, I think I'll laugh my ass off and I'll be like, yay! So I told Rengo, I was like, at what point is it me being a hypocrite, or how much liberty do you have to be self-referential in a movie without like really fucking pissing people off? You know what I mean? Like, I asked Orengo, I was like, am I a hypocrite or is it just execution? And Orengo said, you're gonna have to take that journey on your own.
And I just left him. Alone.
He left me on my porch looking at the fucking sunset, like literally like.
all I'm going to say, because I haven't seen the movie, I'm just gonna plug my little Instagram and Cinema Podcast. I made a whole post saying like, instead of going on to see Venom, let's go see this other CGI creature movie back in the 2003s called Hulks by Ang Lee. Just go ahead and go see that one, because at least that one has something to say. And that is my argument for Ang Lee's Hulk.
Isn't there also another like a robot movie that does that trope a little better? I think there's like this weird like Chappie, no.
Is it Iron Giant? Because that's
no. There's a movie where
Johnny Five.
No, there's a movie where he inherits like a robotic like
Real Steel,
like nano machine or something like that.
Is it Upgrade? Robot. It's not like a robot. It's like a little chip.
Yeah,
it's called Upgrade. Sí, es con I forget the name of this guy. He's a great actor, pero él está bien underutilized.
But that whole dynamic, right? That whole dynamic of like
that,
the machine
that
is one
thing
thing
is the
and
artsy Venom.
Exactly. Yo.
Oh, with better choreography and better camera work, by the way. Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. Tienen que ver Upgrade. Si no han visto Upgrade, so, oh my God, what a movie.
Pero
my
ustedes están conscientes.
No, go ahead.
Algo que a mí me dejó súper traumado. Like, yo no me sé nombre de buenos escritores, pero me sé el nombre de malos escritores. Like, that's fucked up. Y hay un nombre que cuando yo lo leo, a mí me da crisis existencial. Y es Kelly Marcel. Legitly. Kelly Marcel es la que escribe 50 Shades of Grey. Es la que escribe, básicamente ha escrito todas estas como que toxic relationship movies. Y resulta que ella es la escritora de esta película. Y cuando yo vi el nombre de ella, yo me quedé como que callado en el cine, como los créditos subiendo. Y como que, mano, ¿por qué cogen una persona que nunca ha escrito nada de superhéroes? Nunca, no tiene como que ese background. Y tiene un background de películas que... Claro que sí. I don't give a fuck. En este sentido, like, give stories to people that understand the story. No le den la historia a gente que va a hacer un despingue.
But to be fair, as a writer, you're supposed to research. So it's on her que no hizo el research.
Pero es que esa tipa, yo creo que hizo research en lo que ella conoce. Y por eso es que tenemos ciertas cosas en la película que están como que super pushed in your face. Si es una relación tóxica, si juegan con el trope de como que gay Venom, porque juegan con ese trope también. People were like, oh, gay Venom. Y yo como que people are not understanding what they're trying to do.
I have questions about that. Like, I am not against it, right? If they took this character, like, what they've done already to it, whatever. If they took this character and they actually try to push that narrative, I would be like, well, that's a pretty cool take on it.
Es un alien, exacto. Es que es un alien.
But did they actually do that, or just people running with a joke? Like, did people actually believe that in the movie?
No se sintió como, no sé si
I didn't get
yo
that.
Por lo menos lo que yo he visto, yo por ejemplo, no, tú sabes, yo dije, es un alien. Para primero, a veces tenemos que ver las películas por lo que son. Hay ciertos personajes que no tienen pues estas atracciones sexuales como nosotros los humanos, y esto era un alien. Y entonces, obviamente, en la línea de como inocencia dentro de Venom, like, women and men are the same thing to him. So, esta escena...
Well, apparently not, because he knows what pussy is. He knows what pussy is, because he references in the first and the second movie by calling people pussies.
Pussy, yeah.
He just like landed on Earth, but yet he landed on Earth, but yet he knows the vocabulary already when he calls somebody a pussy. Like,
yeah.
Again, the stuff this movie does sometimes is like,
Pues esa escena, la primera vez que yo la vi, yo dije como que, yeah, yo sé por dónde va, yo tenía como que unas teorías de lo que iban a hablar de esta película. Y sí, han hablado de ciertas cosas, pero una que yo pensé que iban a hablar, no han hablado de ella y yo como que, nice, como que lo dejaron.
And that's exactly what I thought would happen today.
Da, hombre, déjame arreglarlo.
I have no control.
I'm split in half. I am Venom and the Carnage.
Yes. You are the person that is going to go pay for
Venom and the Carnage.
Cuando llega
Venom and the Carnage.
I got it. I'll fix it. I got it. I'll fix it.
Awesome.
Okay,
I want it to be metaverse for a day. Fuck, bro. Like,
exacto. I want it to be Lola
Wood. La película, hay cosas que en el desarrollo de la película me sacaron por el techo, había líneas que no llegaban a ningún lado, estaban como que teasing us para cosas que yo creo que sin otras películas en contexto no las vamos a entender. Porque
Bro, la
esta película
escena-
iba a estar atada a Morbius, by the way.
La
Por
escena,
eso es
la
lo de
escena
la
de Don Quijote. La escena de Don Quijote fucking works. Works, but not because it doesn't work because you just gave us like 80 minutes of fucking slapstick comedy. So I didn't get the weight of what they were. I couldn't feel for the weight, but it works. Like that analogy he said of perspective and how Don Quixote's world basically gets canceled out because his perspective of things. Like in other words, he was saying like even though they'll protect the city, they'll be viewed as nothing but monsters. I was like, God damn it, that scene is smart. That shit works. But it's
Por
like,
eso,
God damn it, you
pero-
left it for like 5 minutes at the end after ha 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 time. Like, I was like, maldita sea, like, I wish they would have took that type of tone a little bit more with the character.
Are you guys
Yeah,
tired?
yo no-
Are you guys tired of movies that don't have anything to say? Are you getting tired of it?
I'll be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yes.
De que está acá, yeah, man.
Movies like this, like make me fear that like sooner or later, like I will get like superhero fatigue.
I don't think
straight
so.
up.
I-
No,
Have you seen it?
yo-
Have you seen
No,
it?
but let me explain. Let me explain why.
Tira,
Let
tira,
me
tira.
Let me explain why. I don't think so because you come into this movie already expecting something. Like if the Wayans brothers come out with a movie, I'm not expecting it to be anything else than a silly parody. I go to see Venom, I'm expecting, it's Tom Hardy, it's fucking Venom, it's Andy Serkis who did Caesar and fucking like these are all smart people that could have made a really dope movie. So you expect it to be something else. Then when you get it, you're like, this shit says nothing because you were expecting something else. If I go see Scary Movie 7, I'm not expecting anything else than a stupid fucking movie that I'm just gonna enjoy for what it is.
But you
When I
said
go
it.
see,
You said it. But you said it. 7, not 2.
but that's what I'm saying is expectation. You're expecting Venom to be better. So when it's not, you're like, this shit is stupid. It's not that we're tired of
But
stupid movies.
Are you
But-
expecting it to be
A
o
piece
sea,
of
porque ya tú
shit?
tienes un bar que es Venom 1. You know what Venom 1 was, let's be honest. Entonces cuando tú vas para la segunda, you're not expecting this to be the Dark Knight. You're going to expect it to be like Venom 1, even with the people behind it working on it. So you wouldn't be expecting it to be algo elevado. For like nunca vas a esperar algo así de Venom.
That's I've been saying that for the longest. I didn't after seeing Venom 1, I said I think this is gonna be. I think they're gonna take exactly what worked for them in the first part, and they're just gonna replicate that. I said that last.
So in
That's
other
what I
words,
thought was gonna happen.
Deca, we should just say fuck it and not give our money to Venom 3.
No, pero
If you know what's gonna
déjame
happen
decir
to Venom
algo.
3, though, it's your own fault if you expect anything better. If
Pero,
Venom,
no,
I'm
espera,
telling you
No,
now,
that's
Espera.
the most
like
that's
this,
the
yes.
most
Cuando tu
asinine,
película-
that's the most
cuando tu
asinine
película se
idea
llama-
of going to the fucking theater because you give them money expecting a better product than the first one. It's a fucking sequel.
but
Why would you go in
that's-
there expecting that I should have stood home and watched Venom 1 again and again and again and
It's a
again?
clip. There's a clip right here.
Home because I told
Pero-
you in last week's episode you're gonna
doesn't-
get Venom 1.
You
though.
didn't see it. You did not
Okay,
see
I
it.
didn't. But that's the point. I didn't see it. Was I right? Yes or no? Was I right? Yes or no? Is it
Wrongfully,
Bro.
wrongfully so. You're not right. You're not right, and it does a great thing. You're right. You're right in what you said, and it fucking sucked. That's not a win
So-
for them.
so,
That's not-
but
I mean,
it doesn't
in terms
have
of
to be
money,
a-
in terms of money, yeah, it's gonna sell. So it's a win for them. In terms of the progression of a character, which we like, it's a fucking fail.
But that's the point. That's why I said we are emotionally invested in the character. So you're expecting something. I told you last week this is what's gonna happen, and I tell you today, Venom 3 is going to be the same shit as Venom 1 and 2. If you decide to give the money, you do it knowing. If you get smacked twice in the fucking face,
Hey,
you
this
get
is
smacked the
twice.
third
This
time-
is no. This is twice.
Okay.
So now I know.
So if I smack you twice, you're not gonna be surprised if I smack you the third time. You
That's
know
what I'm saying.
what the fuck to get.
So then everybody that goes to sees this, then by your thing, everybody that goes to sees this, then when the third one comes out, wait for VOD. Don't fucking go see it in the theater.
I am telling you that. Is it gonna happen? No, it's not gonna happen. If you're going to this movie to expect anything really good, wait for that shit to come out. If you want to see the movie just because it's gonna be entertaining, like you said, it's entertaining, it's stupid entertainment, then go see it. Don't go to the movie theater expecting to see wonderful character development because that's not gonna happen. That is
I would love to see something different than what you did in the first movie.
Pero lo
I
que
would
pasa
love-
es
I
que
haven't
mira,
even
aquí
seen-
es el punto, pero aquí es
Hold
el
on, let Deca
punto.
talk.
Venom 1 se llama Venom. Ok, chévere. La 2 se llama Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Ok, a veces tú tienes que tener cuidado de lo que tú promocionas. Ese titular, Let There Be Carnage, yo estoy esperando un tipo de
Let there be a
película
carnage for a
que,
little bit.
no, exacto, que hay un poquito más de Carnage, pero yo quiero, mano, tú tuviste tanta oportunidad de crear un mejor Venom en una segunda parte, quitándole ciertos elementos, que cuando la primera vez yo dije como que, espérate, esta película va en esta dirección, como que, oh, yeah, si hay una parte 3, pues esto haría sentido, y de repente se tiran por la ruta súper segura y no hacen absolutamente nada para hacer crecer Venom. Esa película tuvo momentos que podían hacer crecer el personaje de Eddie y el de Venom, y lo que hicieron fue chiste. Sí les funcionó la 1, pero el reto yo creo que de todo el mundo que hace una película y todas las compañías debería hacer es mejorarte cada vez que tú haces una película. No era para coger lo que le funcionó de la 1 y repetirlo máximo. Estos tipos de estudios pueden tomarse riesgos, mano, pero no quieren, y ese es el problema, porque estamos viendo esta película por lo que viene después. Todas las películas que nosotros vemos de Marvel o de Sony es por lo que viene después y no es por lo que estamos viendo en el momento actual. Venom 1, no que iba a haber una Venom 2, no sabemos que iba a haber todo esto que está pasando ahora, y le dimos como que esa oportunidad y como que no le dimos mucho judgment porque no le veíamos un futuro. No sé si me entienden lo que quiero decir.
Yeah,
Ahora cuando viene la 2,
I understand exactly where you're coming from, but understanding the points that you have just made. You've seen part 1. You said, okay, part 2, look at all of these opportunities they have to make this film so much better. Fuck, yo, they didn't take it. What do you expect in the third one? If they didn't capitalize with a sequel, are you realistically going to expect the third one to be different?
Yes.
no es que para empezar, no, mira,
Can you make a third one totally different? Yes, because it happens all the fucking time in movies.
But if you're expecting that, then that's your own fault. They just shitted on you twice. If they do a third one, I'm expecting it to be the same one as number 1 and number 2. I'm not expecting all of a sudden for them to change the formula that's making the money. Because no matter what you say about the movie, if it continues, this might be the highest grossing movie of the pandemic era until we get to Spider-Man, because I don't think Dune is gonna do these numbers,
or Bond.
I don't think nothing is gonna do these numbers until Spider-Man.
Bond,
so they took this formula and they said, wow, a lot of people. They said a lot of people think this movie is shitty, but for some reason, in 2 years, this might be the highest grossing movie that we make. They're gonna say, you know what, fuck it. If this is what's making us money, let's continue that route and do the same thing.
Yeah, let's milk it dry.
Do you think Deca, do you think it would have made this money had it not been linked to anything has to do with Spider-Man?
But you don't know that. You only know that when you see the movie.
It's
hay
a
demasiados
hypothetical.
no, pero
You only know that when you see
okay.
the movie. You don't know that off
Por
the
eso.
I think that's
I think-
scenario.
No, I defer. I defer because it's marketed as expanding the universe.
But that's
Everything
what I'm
you
saying.
have in the trailer. let me
Pero
finish.
where?
Everything you what?
Sí, los trailers,
What
los
trailers?
trailers,
Yeah,
los
trailers.
trailers
¿Cuáles
básicamente
trailers?
it's getting bigger.
No,
En los TV
Mostly all the
spots
TV spots that came out in the
are
last week.
expanding. It's
Yeah,
like
they were
words of
expanding the universe.
expanding.
and they show like, how can I say it? Like maybe I don't want to use the word normie, but maybe the common folk won't pick it up. But if you pay attention to the trailer, they're referencing shit like the Daily
And-
Bugle. They're
Para,
like,
que,
they-
para que sepan, se supone que Venom 2, lo que es Venom 2 en a marketable way, es expandiendo el universo y no era solamente pues para la, puedo decirlo, ¿verdad? No.
yes, fuck it. You know,
Yeah.
we're knowing that the spoiler
no,
podcast by now.
No Way Home. No es solamente una expansión para eso, sino es para el Spider-Verse, el revolú que tiene, Morbius. Entonces, hay cositas que en la película me estaban contando unos detalles que digo, oh, ok, esto hace sentido, pero a la vez no hace sentido. Se supone que Ravencraft o como se diga el
Ravencroft.
facility,
Ravencroft.
se supone que ahí trabaja este cabrón, Morbius. So, no tenemos el contexto porque Morbius no salió en el tiempo que iba a salir. So, a estas películas se quedan con ciertos materiales de ciertas cosas que a lo mejor hubiesen hecho un poco más de sentido y se hubiese conectado mucho mejor las películas, pero como no está el contexto de Morbius, como no está lo de los monsters, porque la palabra monsters en la película, lo que se quiere destacar es como que todos los metahumans que se están creando por el experimento de Morbius. Y entonces en la película no tiene contexto, porque tú piensas que es los symbiotes y tú te quedas como que, espérate, shit. Pero si hubiese estado en la otra película, ves que hay una conexión, ves que se está creando como que army de cosas, tú no sabes hacia qué dirección va y tienes como la historia incompleta. Una de las cosas que yo genuinamente respiré onda en el cine fue lo del detective. Lo del detective no tuvo ningún tipo de contexto. El detective va a la iglesia, pasa todo el revolú, de repente al final se cae, le brillan los ojos y tú te quedas pensando y dices, ¿qué diablo es esto? Porque este tipo le está brillando los ojos, o sea, tú haces una historia en tu mente, la película no te da eso. Los personajes te mencionan unas cosas, no te explican más nada, todo se queda a mitad en la película. Y eso es lo que yo digo. Como,
Yeah.
What's up, Bells? Yeah, it's
You see
very,
the background
very,
is very spoopy.
very spoopy.
very spooky. It's spooky and poopy, bro. Pero, mano, es que genuinamente qué oportunidad tan grande perdida también, y con Carnage también, porque Carnage es Carnage. Carnage no era para tirar la segunda película.
That's a very heavy character to just vomit on the screen the way they did. And I'm not too fond of the whole love interest thing they did, but it's an interpretation. I can deal with that.
Lo vencieron with the power of friendship. Analiza eso, cabrón. Lo vencieron con el... It was the power of love.
The power of love. It's the
Míralo.
fucking trope. It's a trope that every Hollywood movie fucking falls back on nowadays. The power of love, because we need that shit in a pandemic.
Yeah, the power, pero... Entonces, la película tiene un momento que no sé si te dio PTSD de Spider-Man 2.
Yes,
I
thought I was the only one that picked up on that. The fucking clock.
I was like,
if the symbiote thing turns into a hand, I'm like, this totally took place in Andrew Garfield's fucking
por
universe
eso,
then.
y yo decía como que, yes, van a tener los cojones, la van a matar a ella, él se va como que la psiquis de él se va a romper, va a tener que cogerse las cosas más en serio. Fuck yeah, nació Venom.
Nope.
Es que, mano, de verdad.
Look at Orengo getting pissed because we spoiled the entire movie for him.
I don't know, estaba pendiente.
No.
Thankfully I'm good. Pero ya, what I was gonna say en cuestión del marketing, sorry, volviendo al tema de marketing, porque pasa que you guys diverged, I didn't have a spot to say it. I would argue que Morbius has a trailer that actually implies more of an expansion of the universe de lo que hace Venom. Por eso es que con lo de Venom, por lo menos el promo, maybe the TV spots alluded to this. Como yo no lo vi, pues yo no puedo decirte. Y obviamente los TV spots son para los normies, so it probably worked for that. Pero cuando yo veía los dos trailers que salieron, yo nunca veía ese elemento de expanding a que this is going to be linked to Spider-Man. We know this for a fact por lo que salió behind the scenes. Pero it wasn't properly como que shown en esos dos main trailers. Pero en Morbius, rápido te enseñó un póster de Spider-Man, te enseñó que salía Mysterio y el otro, el personaje que hace Michael Keaton.
Vulture.
Sí.
Vulture, y te lo explica explícitamente ahí. So there you understand, okay, también, this is like fully an expansion. Pero como ustedes dicen, obviamente these movies were supposed to be shown last year, so obviamente todo esto como se atrasó y todo esto se maquinó bien diferente, pues ya todo como que perdió sentido. Se supone que Morbius creo que salía primero que Spider-Man, so it should have linked way better in order to get to Spider-Man. Era como que, pues yo vi esa película mierda de Morbius, but I remember like Vulture was there, and now I'm gonna see the thing with the Spider-Man, because we know Morbius is gonna be shit. Yo aquí mismo lo voy a decir yo. It's going to be shit.
So the trailer, if you watch it or whatever, again, this is nitpicky shit that like I think only the hardcore fucking fans quote unquote will see. But like I'm just saying like
no, you say normie about Spider-Man, you say normie.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm saying like somebody that's not like us, that's so involved in the culture would just watch the trailer and be like, the fucking guy had a newspaper. He slammed out the newspaper says Avengers lose to Nightmare.
Okay.
So you're implying already that there's links or there is a Avengers in this fucking universe. Like they went heavy on the whole like we're linking shit to other shit in this movie. My whole thing with like going back to the movie. The Decade, were you satisfied by o la pregunta, fíjate eso. La película, well, my closing comments on it, again, I wasn't bored, but god damn it, like I wanted something so much more out of this. Now, go into that post-credit scene. Spoilers.
Okay.
Everybody hasn't
Ok,
seen it.
espera. Tengo que hacer como.
Ahora sí voy a hacer así. Ahora sí, because I do actually
You
want
know already. You know. Come on, cut the bullshit.
Pues rápido. Ok. Por lo menos el end credit scene me confirmó algo bien estúpido, me dio una respuesta a algo dentro de todo el revolú que está pasando con Doctor Strange. No sé si te fijaste que todo cambió alrededor, ¿verdad? Tú sabes que ellos estaban como viendo la telenovela, que by the way, hay otro hint en la telenovela, I'm not joking about this. Mira lo que está diciendo la novela en español, I'm not joking about this.
Please don't talk about the pregnancy because you're going to piss me off.
Okay.
You're gonna piss me off and we can't talk about that on the air, okay?
Ok, pues adicional a eso, cuando hace Warp, como que cambia todo alrededor. Entonces Venom le iba a enseñar algo a este cabrón. Eso no fue lo que él ya.
Say it.
No, Venom le iba a enseñar básicamente lo que yo estoy pensando.
No, he was gonna give him all the knowledge of everything the symbiotes have been through.
Exacto.
I don't know, billions of years all in one sitting to Eddie.
Wouldn't that eventually link to No?
Yes.
To No.
That's an insinuation. It's an insinuation.
It's an insinuation.
But
¿Qué pasa?
that would link into Thor. Since fucking the villain of Thor is like a villain of the symbiote or some shit, no? Gore the fucking butcher or some shit, the God Butcher?
No, Gore the God Butcher uses a sword, basically, right?
Ya, los symbiotes, si no me equivoco, I could be wrong about this. I could actually be wrong about this, pero yo creo que los symbiotes, contrario a los humanos regulares de los multiversos, ellos se pueden comunicar, no importa la barrera. So, no sé si lo que iban a enseñar también era eso, que como que él tuvo links con otros Venoms, por decirlo así, y podíamos como que juntar las películas. Pero brincando a eso...
No, never mind. I would think that would give you a reason then to why Venom feels a certain way about the suit.
Yeah, por eso.
Why he says like this person looks tasty, because then he'd be inheriting all the hate from like what, the Tobey Maguire universe.
Pero lo que la película confirmó que, o sea, me dio como que feel para No Way Home, fue que no sé si te fijaste que cuando cambió todo, ellos están viendo el televisor, whatever, está la noticia, pero el tipo viene y le dice, Eddie, what are you doing here? El tipo no se friqueó, el tipo, o sea, ya él conocía a Eddie, pero
no,
Eddie. He said Eddie.
No, he said, dude, what are you doing here in my room? He didn't say Eddie. He didn't
say Eddie.
He did not say Eddie. He did not say Eddie. I don't think he said Eddie. You know why I think he didn't say it? Because I remember seeing it I remember taking it as like, oh shit, he landed in the same exact room in another universe, and that room is already occupied by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that to me wasn't like he landed in the room at another year in his own timeline. He landed literally in the same spot in another universe or another timeline. We could get into that fucking.
Yo lo que pienso rápido es que tú brincas de una dimensión a otra y caes en el cuerpo de la persona. So, por eso en el trailer Spider-Man tiene la ropa que tiene este hombre, Tobey Maguire. Todavía. El end credit scene, no les voy a mentir, la primera vez que la vi nadie se emocionó porque yo creo que nadie entendió. Generalmente se quedaron como que, pero cuando la vi la segunda vez con gente de cultura, pues todo el mundo gritó como que yeah, como que se emocionó, y como que esa fue la parte que yo dije como funciona, esa parte funciona. Mano, está so real, de verdad está so real, como que la escena da alegría porque pues es como que pues finalmente.
I love how the Sony universe, the hotel was a piece of shit, and when you brought him over to the MCU, it's beautiful.
Of course.
If that doesn't speak volumes of what they think. Exactly. It's like, here's your universe. It's a fucking 3-star or 2-star motel, and now you're in the MCU, baby. It's basically, you know, like fucking Disney Island or whatever. Like.
Pero nada, o sea, lo triste es que este es el strong point de esta película. O sea, que tu crédito sea lo más fuerte de tu película es triste.
No, la película es buena, es excelente, pero la mejor parte no tiene nada que ver con la película.
Sí, y brevemente, esto es lo último que quiero decir, mano, que muchos los reviewers están diciendo cuando una película no funciona, que muchos están diciendo esa mierda de apaga tu cerebro, disfrútate la película. No, mi gente, tú te puedes disfrutar una película pensando un poco también. So, cuando una película no te reta a pensar, no está bien ejecutada, honestamente. Y lo digo de corazón. Y esta película, o sea, esta película tuvo oportunidad de ser mejor película. Creo que se tiraron unos chistes demasiado caricaturas. O sea, cabrón, fucking Carnage hizo Demonio de Tasmania. Yo no he visto eso en mi puta vida. Empezó a hacer así y llevarse las cosas. Y yo como que...
The disconnecting part for me was when he stuck his fingers into the goddamn computer and connected to the internet. He manipulated the internet with the symbiote. I was like, I am fucking done with this movie. I was like, that's enough. All right. I literally tapped. I was like, okay, at this point, you're ripping stuff out.
Come back, Orengo. You can come back, Orengo.
No, not yet.
You're gonna say more shit at the end? I thought you was done already.
We talking about? I didn't say anything about the end. That was Deke. I didn't say shit.
You said my closing word. I thought it was over. You were talking about internet shit.
Now, all right, Deke, I'll ask you real quick. This isn't spoilers, because if you don't know this about the movie by now, come on. We're not describing the scene. Did everything that happens, where this character lands in the grand scheme of things in the universe, are the events in this movie important or are they not? Are they
supposedly
important?
They are. Yeah, supposedly they are.
That's something that nobody can answer until we see what happens after. That's like the same thing with all these Marvel shows. We have to see what happens after for it to have any impact. For us to know that they just throw shit on the wall and was like whatever, or is this gonna end up linking to something?
Pero no sé si sabes que hay una teoría de que el Sinister Six lo estamos viendo de una manera bien abstracta, en el sentido de que ya porque vimos unos personajes, ellos van a ser el Sinister Six y aparentemente estos personajes van a tener otro rol diferente. So, el roster del Sinister Six, si tú te pones a hacer la matemática, no está completo. Y ahora tú tienes un personaje que podría tener una razón por la que genuinamente estar en los Sinister Six.
Is that the mascot?
The what?
The rooster? The rooster of the Sinister Six?
What an ass this guy.
Yo escuché rooster, pero I let it go.
Oh, wow.
I did let it go. I guess.
Deke, don't take that garbage, Deke. Keep on going. Don't worry about it. Don't take that's low hanging fruit, man. We're talking about something serious here.
I didn't feel that bad for.
We're talking about feelings. We're talking about feelings that he's talking about grammar.
I could.
Yeah.
It was too easy. It was too.
I know it was too easy. Yo lo pensé, yo dije, no, I'm fine. I'll let it go.
Go ahead, go.
Fuck you then. See my grammar there?
Don't worry, Deke. Don't worry, Deke. I'm on your side because his Spanish isn't all that great to begin with. So when he waits out,
I wasn't gonna like reach to like Spanish,
bro.
I was like,
I've been friends with y'all for more than 10 years, bro. This fucking skin is leather. I've been through the fires of getting ghosted for years, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Pero ya brinquemos esta película, de verdad. No.
All right, so at the other movie that you guys saw was The Many Saints of Newark. Obviously, this is a fucking prequel to The Sopranos. Even has Tony Soprano's, James Gandolfini's actual son playing his role. Now, I don't remember if I think I've seen that once, and it was an American Horror Story. I think there was I think in season 2 in Asylum, there was a Nazi that controls the asylum that he does experiments. That when they have flashbacks to his younger self, it's the actor's actual son playing his younger self.
Oh.
Aside from that, I don't think I've ever seen that be done before.
It's been done.
It has?
No.
That's right.
I can't pinpoint examples.
I can't think of that ever happening before. I've seen like parents be in the same movie. Princess Leia, her daughter was in Star Wars. Sean Penn is about to have a movie with his daughter where she plays his daughter in the movie. But I've never seen that before. Like, what do you guys think about Many Saints of Newark? It's funny because obviously Sopranos is not something that Derek is like a big fan of. So he's seen it with different eyes. No, like it's just mafia.
This is literally what happened to us is literally like the issue with the movie.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know what are your perspectives. Megs being a super fan of The Soprano and Derek really not like if there was any Easter eggs or anything, they just flew over your head because you didn't understand it. So I want to know, what do you guys think about the movie? Whoever can go
Bro,
first.
este no es mi cup of tea of movie. Las razones por las que la vi pues estaban beyond me, pero pues la vi. Había muchas cosas que yo entiendo que si hubiese tenido un poco de referencia, a lo mejor la hubiese disfrutado más, porque había alguien que sí la había visto y me explicó unas ciertas cosas. I was like, oh, that would have been great to know about that. Pero overall, viéndolo como una película, pues, como si fuera una película independiente, funciona, fíjate, o sea, para no ser mi género, funciona. Like, it kept me interested de principio a fin, pero creo que lo hubiese disfrutado más si hubiese tenido contexto de muchas cosas.
¿Qué es lo que no es tu
hay
cup of tea de esta película?
Yo no he visto Sopranos, a mí no me gustan crime
ok.
movies tampoco, ni mafia movies,
Ok.
es como que la única película que a mí me gusta de crime movies es la de Four Brothers, que fue por culpa del cabrón del ex. Like, él estaba, Four Brothers. When I saw that movie, I really liked it. Pero...
Scorsese
así,
vale
tipo de
verga en tu
crime-
corazón. Got it.
No, ya.
Scorsese, tú le escupes en la cara a
En-
Scorsese todos los días.
En Departed, la escena de todo el mundo tiroteándose, terminaba con yo cogiendo la pistola y disparándome también. Era como que it was a
Y no, por eso,
psycho-
tú escupiste la pantalla y dijiste, este cabrón, mierda.
pero ya, like, crime movies no son no es como que no me gustan mucho, mano, no me siento como atraído a ellas. Las veo y todo, pero no es película que pueda... me hubiese gustado, no voy a ver la serie, tampoco es que, te quiero entender esto, ahora voy a ver la serie. No funciona así.
Man, you're so lucky I don't have control anymore. Woo! With that comment, oh my god.
Que Sopranos
pero
es que
está
basura.
I would have thrown you out and changed the link to this fucking podcast.
Go ahead.
Pero yeah, I'm sorry, Miguel. I know this is your franchise.
Sorry, Miguel, but Tony Soprano could die. I didn't like it. It was whack.
So
Go ahead, Miguel. How about
so,
you? Now
I
you being
agree.
a big fan.
I agree with Deke. A lot. This movie, as a standalone movie that you don't have any reference to the series, like you've never seen the series before, it's an okay mafia movie. Like it stands on its own 2 feet, but it's not groundbreaking. You can't compare it to anything, any of the Godfathers or any like that. Not even Goodfellas. None of the Scorsese-esque movies or whatever. If you go in watching the series, the fucking thing has so many layers and references back to the series, and it has like literal like bombshell moments. But the bombshell moments don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've seen this series 4 times. If I had seen it once, maybe even then these references wouldn't mean that much to me. But since I'm such a big fan of the series and I watch it over and over again, and I kind of like picked apart like scenes and characters and like stuff like that, everything made sense. And there were things that were like huge ass surprises. Even like characters act, their motivations are spot on because that's the way they were depicted in the series. But there's bombshells and things that you didn't know, and that's what this movie succeeds at. But again, its crutch is that you need to watch the series to gain context of a lot of things. Like I literally watched it. I came home and I watched it on HBO Max again, and I was like, oh my god, what they just stated, and in the ending, and there was another scene that I was just like, holy shit, that in context of what that character is in the movie, like shows you how just despicable and fucked up these people are as human beings. Like the main character itself, let's not kid ourselves. The main character, none of the characters in the fucking Sopranos series are fucking outstanding people. But in the movie, you also get another character and you're like, okay, this matches the tone because he basically thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's a very gross human being. Like in his culture and the way he's raised and his mentality, he thinks he's doing right by this person, or he thinks he's fixing a situation when by a normal person's standards, you're like, man, that's just fucking gross. That's just disgusting. Like how could you do that to somebody? You know what I mean?
When you say gross, you mean like violently gross?
Yeah, like it's fucked up. Like
yeah,
in the grand scheme of things, it fits with the character, but in morality, when it comes down to a person with good morality, you're like, holy fuck, that's very heavy. You know what I mean? Deke, you know what Okay,
Vengo ahora rápido, perdón. No. I'm sorry.
That
Vengo bien rápido.
timing,
That timing,
spot
yes.
on.
Yes, that's why it was
If
great.
we would have practiced that would have not happened,
Yes.
bro. We would have practiced that.
The like the morality fucking is heavy in this movie. And I did dig the fact that, let's be honest, like The Sopranos in the time it came out, they got away with a lot of shit because it was different times. I don't think that series could come out today and not get canceled with certain depictions and racism and all that stuff. So
It's getting a good popularity bump though.
I mean,
HBO Max is reporting that because it's binge worthy, like now since you can watch it in its entirety, a lot of people end up watching it. I'm wondering if the movie is gonna drive people to watch it more. So it's gonna get like how remember Chappelle, where we were talking to Bebo, your younger brother.
Mhm.
Like he didn't know shit about Chappelle. Chappelle was OG for us. That happened years ago. We was in high school. All of a sudden, Chappelle is very cancel worthy. Chappelle just don't give a fuck, but he's very cancel worthy. The new generation saw it, and a lot of people ended up liking it, like a lot. Yeah. I wonder if this movie will have an impact similar to that for The Sopranos.
I mean, it might make people watch Sopranos for the first time for sure. It's going to make new people fans, just out of sheer curiosity, because they might see the movie and be like, "Oh, that's interesting. Oh, HBO Max has the whole series. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out." Boop. You might get some fans.
You know what the funny thing is though? Like, I don't think this movie works if you watch it first and then watch the series.
That is fair.
Because certain things happen so deep into the series that I don't think, unless you got awesome fucking memory, I don't think like by season 6 or season 4 or something like that, you're gonna remember one spot in the movie. But maybe after watching it and you go back and watch the movie, you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But I don't think if you watch the movie first and then watch the series, to the point where the movie spoils. If you haven't seen the series, just by certain characters' dialogues and certain narrators in the movie, like they spoil a very big situation in the series. In the show. Yeah, in the show. I was like, wow, that was a kind of a ballsy choice, which I felt was maybe tacked on at the end with the choice of a narrator. I felt like when I saw the movie, I was like, I feel like they put that in like during re-editing or something. Yeah, in post or like, they were like, it's missing something. Let's give it a narrator like that.
I wonder because there's a lot of people, especially our age, and I'm one of those people that I'm a fan of crime dramas and shit, but I never got around to seeing The Sopranos. So there's got to be other people like me. Look at Toma. Toma loved that fucking, what was it? The Flor de some shit. The one that was about this fucking Colombian guy. I forgot his name right now.
What?
That Spanish
novella. About the Escobar?
Yeah, the Escobar. Not the Netflix one. Remember the Spanish one?
Yeah.
He was a big ass fan. So Toma likes crime drama. I don't think Toma has ever seen The Sopranos.
I think I spoke to him not too long ago, and he was starting to get into it.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been the fucking gospel, the one preaching the gospel for years about this goddamn series.
That's what I'm saying. What happens now with the release of this film is accessibility. Like on the same exact app, you have the movie and you have the whole series. So it's easy to watch the movie, spark that interest, start watching the show, and be like, wait a minute, let me go back to the movie really quick because it's on the app. Yeah. So I think the accessibility of having both of those things on the same time, I think they're gonna help each other out. I think as HBO Max goes, I think they'll probably have solid numbers for the movie, and I think it might boost the numbers for the show.
Let me be clear here and say that, like, because I've just ripped Venom to shreds. This movie is not without its faults. Let's just be perfectly transparent here. Like, you do not get. There's great acting, especially from the guy that plays Dicky Moltisanti, which is the protagonist of the story or whatever. Like, really, really good acting from them. And other people like big name stars like Vera Farmiga, Josh Bernthal, they play like characters that were mentioned in the series, but you never really got time with them. So I think that's a little bit of a sin they make in the movie. It bounces back and forth between all these like segments in these characters' lives that you're like, fuck, I wish I would have spent more time with this person. I wish I would have spent more time with this person. It jumps around like a lot. And like, again, I wonder if I would have loved to ask Decca that, like, as you were watching it, where you were like, who the fuck are these characters and why the fuck am I spending this patch of time with them if it's not I don't find this as important to Dickie's story. You know what I mean? Like it's fan service again for the people that saw series. You're like, oh shit, I get to see more time of this moment that Tony described in a therapy session, or this moment that molded this character because he pours his heart out and soul out to his therapist. So you're like, he said this shaped his life, and this is what happened, or this is what actually happened, or this is what he was told, and this is what actually happened in that moment. You know what I mean? But it commits that sin of like jumping around a lot. Like I would have preferred it to be a whole lot more, like a whole lot more time with Dickie than jumping around as much. You know what I mean? With other people in certain situations, which they felt they had to reference in the movie.
Pregunta que yo te hago. Oh,
Yeah.
pregunta que yo te hago. Does the movie feel like a movie?
Yes. To me, it feels like a movie. Okay. Some of the complaints I've been reading is that it feels like a trailer for a series.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. But I'm wondering if that's just the sin.
Question: have you seen anything of the topics of today? Because hasta ahora,
not these two.
I know.
Not these two. I told you. I said it before. That's why I said I didn't see it. But I had to take advantage because y'all seen it. So
that was for the rooster, bitch.
I think that's just the sin of the time that we live in, and in part, it's in part a big chunk of that falls on Disney and Marvel. It's just you create something with the hopes that you put these little seeds so that maybe you could get a spin-off here and a spin-off here. I feel like that's what everybody is doing now. So there's likely like those little seeds where they hope you get so interested in this character that somewhere down the line, this person can have his own little.
Here's the thing with that mentality, though. The movie ends setting up a sequel.
Okay.
The movie ends if again, I hate using that fucking phrase. If you watch the series, you would know like the way that the ending. ¿De qué? Una pregunta que te hago. ¿A ti te explicaron el peso del final?
No.
So el final simplemente fue pues, esto pasó. Right? Like that's how you felt like after they showed you his story and then this happened.
That's life.
Like as it normally goes in somebody involved with like the mafia, that's the ending to their story. Mm-hmm. That ending has like it's a bombshell because it's a revelation of two things. But
in the series,
you have to watch the series. That's the thing. You don't. Can I spoil it?
No.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'll mute it off, and then you give me the sign.
Yeah, both of you guys mute yourselves because Deke doesn't give a shit about Sopranos. He doesn't give a shit about Sopranos.
I don't give a shit about Sopranos.
So Deke, el final donde matan a ese personaje en la serie, tú nunca sabes quién fue el que lo mandó a matar. That's never alluded to. El viejo de las gafas. Él es un personaje en la serie y él mata, él tiene la misma dinámica que tiene con el muchacho, la tiene con su sobrino. El de que since he feels slighted, remember he fell down the stairs and he was laughing at him? For something as simple as that, he would put a hit out on him. He has that same dynamic with his nephew in the series. He feels disrespected by his nephew, so he puts out a hit on him. You never find out in the series that the character that killed him is black, and you never find out that basically the person that killed Dickie Montesanti was ordered de la misma familia de él, because es la misma familia de él. And lo del personaje ser de descendencia afroamericana es que los italianos, o sea, detestan hacer negocios con gente de color. So, el mero hecho, es como 3 strikes in a row, ¿entiendes? Es algo bien. You know what I mean? The fact that he hired somebody to kill his family, the fact that the person was of color, and the fact that he never told anybody. He in the show they reference the character and he lies about it. So it matches that character's portrayal within the series, but it's still a bombshell. It's a big surprise. Like they never told you that he was ordered to kill by somebody in his family and blah blah blah. All right.
Okay.
Deca's like, I still don't care. Deca's face was like, wow, interesting. I still don't give a fuck.
I was laughing because all I saw was just like, you were like so passionate about this, and Deca was just like,
Sí, yo veo de que es like, I don't care.
Deca was like, yeah.
Let's go on. I don't care.
Wow.
Pero última pregunta que yo hago entonces, because the other concern that the director had was that even though cuando pasó lo de HBO, pues todo el mundo estaba vociferando que it was like a wrong move and a lot of directors didn't like this, eventually they all came around to it. The one that didn't come around to it was
him, David
was
Chase.
him, because he was very upset de que he's always been known as a very good TV director y nunca ha tenido el chance to prove himself. He only had another movie made, que era Not Here, creo que era Not Fade Away, creo que se llama la película.
Yeah.
Que yo hice, I think que de good review en cinema, porque Edward la vio. Because he was like preparing para lo de Saints of Newark and he went to see the filmography. Y la única otra película que había hecho es esa película he did like a few years back. So he's never been known como like an actual film director. Entonces, él le encabrona el mero hecho de que al fin he has a movie que tiene la posibilidad de put him in a way donde puede ser viewed as a proper film director. Y ese chance se le escapó por el hecho de que lo pusieron en HBO Max. Having seen the movie, do you think it's a fair como que criticism de parte de él por la situación peculiar en que él está metida? Porque es bien diferente de un James Gunn. James Gunn can afford to have a HBO Max movie en su repertoire porque después de ahí he's going to do 3 more movies que van a ser actual fucking movies. Y todo el mundo está en ese borde. But he was the only one de que he doesn't get that many chances. So now that he got that chance, he got screwed over por lo que pasó. So what do you think?
So are you saying like, is this movie good enough to merit the fact that he doesn't want it on HBO Max?
Exacto.
Okay,
Like de que should have been a proper theatrical release, so he could have shown to the world, look at me, I can make films. I'm not relegated to just TV.
Again, I think it stands on its own 2 feet as a story of a character. It's not. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's like breaking any barriers.
Okay.
It's not showing us anything that we haven't seen before in a mafia-esque movie. There are elements of like shock, but you don't delve in deep enough with the main character because you're fucking referencing a whole bunch of other situations.
I think that's a really good question for Derek.
That is also a good question for Derek.
Yeah.
Since he's really seeing this.
Derek wasn't even paying attention.
Okay, ya sé cuál era.
Since you're seeing it from fresh eyes, right? The director of this movie, this was like his coming out party. This is like him finally being able to direct a movie that's in the theaters. Now he was arguing, or they were saying that he was arguing that he felt insulted that the movie is also on HBO Max, like it kind of stained the breakout party. You seeing the movie and not knowing shit about The Sopranos, do you see this directorial debut like shit? This movie should have been in the movie theaters. Are you like, did you feel like he directed it so well that you would be interested in him seeing or him directing another movie? Or did it feel TV-ish to you?
Exacto. Porque acuérdate que lo interesante que el mundo que vivimos es que ahora muchos directores y directoras se van de movies a televisión. Y se ve como que un approach interesante, pero now él viene de un mundo donde he made a really good TV show, pero siempre fue relegado como un TV director, and now he has to do it al revés. Pero el prestigio no es el mismo, porque back in the day, aunque Sopranos was groundbreaking, it was still TV, y siempre había ese cierto estigma de lo que conlleva televisión itself, back in those times. Ahora TV es prestige, o sea, un Kari Fukunaga hace True Detective y de pronto mira todas las fucking películas que le han dado, cuando él solo había hecho como una película anteriormente. So, en ese aspecto y ese contexto.
Pero una pregunta, Sopranos era de HBO anteriormente, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Siempre fue de HBO. Estoy pensando, hay otro director que empezó en HBO y ahora estoy tratando de figure out who the fuck is it, pero
Orengo just said it.
Pero
Kari Fukunaga to some degree, pero Kari Fukunaga has made movies before he did True Detective. Lo que pasa es que he wasn't that well known. Pero True Detective was put him on the map para no se break out. Pero eso claro, porque the tides are different. Ahora televisión es algo tan sea, se ve con otra perspectiva. Muchos directores que han dirigido shows, episodios de Game of Thrones, have gone on to make movies. Just simple people who directed just episodes, specific episodes, han logrado entonces break into TV, digo, into movies. Pero entonces por el tiempo en que salió el show, look at Vince, the guy who did Breaking Bad. ¿Cómo que se llama? Vince, yo iba a decir Flanagan, pero es que no es Flanagan. No. Vince something, whatever. Él, he did fucking Breaking Bad, and he's also done la de Call Me Better Saul, whatever.
You Better
Call Saul, o whatever. Entonces, esos shows, increíbles shows, pero look how hard it's been for him to be able to kind of like demonstrate himself as a proper film director. Y lo hizo con El Camino, porque El Camino es una mierda. Like, it's only
El Camino, exacto. Pero ahí hay un problema en El Camino y en Many Saints of Newark, como que comparando, mano, él sí está teniendo su premier, por decirlo así, como director, pero aunque sea una película, está atado al programa. Entonces no le estás dando como esa desvinculación a que dirija algo fuera de su zona de confort. Ahí es que yo diría como que hay que darle a todos ellos, hay que darle otra oportunidad de que dirija otra cosa que no esté atado. Puede ser el mismo género, pero que no esté atado a algo que ya previamente tiene todo background.
He did one other movie. Yeah. Sí, like Not Fade Away.
Not Fade Away.
Yeah. I've never seen it. Again, yo puse un review porque Edward sí la vio y me dijo que está buena, pero I've never seen it.
I mean, but there's also directors that tend to stay in their lane when it comes to genres, like especially when it comes to like horror.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of directors that like I'm interested in just doing horror films. Yeah. So I mean, he might be interested in just doing crime dramas. I don't know him. I don't know.
Oh no. Ese no es el argumento. El argumento es que he wants to prove himself.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. It also stars James Gandolfini. Not Fade Away. I was like, okay.
Pero ya generalmente merece otra oportunidad. O sea, yo creo que los directores, ¿verdad? Deberían siempre darle chance a los directores a redimirse y tener más oportunidades. O sea, generalmente los estudios a veces como que, yo no sé, no le dan oportunidad de redimirse. Fallaste, pues si fallaste ya no puedes hacer más películas. O sea, esa mentalidad es lo que quiero decir, aunque no haya fallado.
I really don't understand it completely, like, because the movie is in the movie theaters.
Yeah,
it's just you haven't another option to see it in another way if you wanted to, but his movie is in the movie theaters.
Yo tengo un pana currently en Plaza Carolina viéndola.
No, but he told
me the movie theater's empty. Like, I'm just seeing it with my ahora mismo.
It is relative because a movie success is based on how much money it generates for the studio. So if you give it to people in HBO Max, you're taking, it's already been proven. Let's not bullshit ourselves. If the movie does not have a direct release or whatever, it makes more money in the theater.
Day and day release.
Day and day release, exactly. Yeah. Let's not bullshit. So if you take away the HBO Max thing and you just leave it as a straight movie, it's not linked back to it's not, people take it as like it's just another, it's kind of like
movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's
but I don't feel
you're like, just a fucking shill for the digital releases. Let's not bullshit ourselves.
Yeah,
let's not bullshit ourselves. We're riding the wave of the future. Watch movies at your house. Fuck the cinema.
We're not. This is not tough. We've had that conversation. I feel like you should watch whatever the fuck you want. What I'm saying is, mafia movies don't tend to be blockbusters anyway. Like when you see a mafia, how many?
All right, this has been Miguel. After School Club.
How many mafia movies are blockbusters? How many mafia movies make $200 million?
3 of them. Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, Godfather 1, 2, and 3 were movies that were made about 40 years ago.
But
how many mafia movies came out afterwards?
They made a shitload of money. Not that many, Nick.
But that's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of mafia movies. It's not like they don't have money. There's a lot of mafia movies. But mafia movies
in la actualidad, Miguel, by the way.
It's in its own little niche that they don't tend to make a lot of money anyway. So if I feel like if in his mind he thought that this movie was gonna make $200 million, he was bugging. Because I don't think that these type of movies make that.
I don't think he was
I don't
expecting
think he
that.
was
That's what I'm
expecting
saying. I don't
200
think
million,
that.
mate. But I think
from
you
his
really
perspective,
I think you really threw a fucking monkey wrench into what the movie could have made money wise.
Sí.
If you did put it day and date on HBO Max, it's the truth.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I'm wondering if that's what when he says I had a movie in the movie theater, is he saying shit? My movie could have made this amount of money, or if he's more along the lines of how many eyes could have seen? Because it feels different when you see
Departed made a shit ton of
the
money.
experience
Yeah,
feels
dude.
different when you see in the movie theater. So
American Gangster.
I'm wondering if that's what he.
I'm shocked. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, there's money to be made in a gangster
American
movie, but
Hustle relatively made some money.
the story, it's the story wise. A lot of them aren't projected because the ones that aren't great is because they're fucking boring ass stories. I've seen mafia movies that are like, there was one on Amazon not too long ago and it had a pretty good cast, but the story was bullshit. It was boring as hell.
Tíralo.
But
was
even
¿Cómo se
if-
llama?
Hey, I
Ese-
fucking
I
love.
don't even fucking remember. I know it was about it was
I love
kind
The
of like,
Departed.
huh?
I loved The Departed. I thought The Departed was great. I really liked it. The
Yeah.
writer in this group was like, "Ugh." It's
Yeah,
not
no.
for
but-
everybody.
But the writer in this group also loves a lot of love story and whimsical shit. Like, it's not for him. It's not necessarily for him.
But that's why I say it's the mafia.
Yeah, but this guy loves his love stories.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Mafia movies. I think is a very small niche that it has its hardcore fans, but it's not as big.
No es un genre
As
que
other-
era pegado como era en los
Exacto.
70 y 80 cuando era
Exacto.
algo más
Exactly.
I agree
gritty.
with that.
Es como decir un maybe a western nowadays, que un western sale maybe 2 or 3 westerns a year, porque claro, ya no es un género que apela tanto.
Yeah, I think.
I guess, en ese argumento you're right. It's a thing that not other people
the fan
use.
base for that. I think it just. I feel like it's a lot smaller. So I don't feel like this movie was gonna be breaking the bank. I don't think it was gonna make that much money. So I feel like I don't feel like his movie having a same day release, like coming out both in the theaters and HBO Max. I don't necessarily feel like that's a factor of him necessarily getting another opportunity to make a movie, or if you didn't agree or if you thought the movie was bad. I don't think the HBO Max was the reason for that. I feel like this is such a closed niche. You either like the movie or you didn't.
Alright.
That's how I feel like mafia movies are like that. Like The Godfather is one of the best movies ever for a lot of people, not for everybody. Movies are subjective. The Shawshank Redemption, we already did this on Cine Nerds. It's the #1 movie like ever. Like IMDb has that as the best movie ever created. I don't think any one of us would have that as the best movie ever created.
Ni mi
Not the
top
best
10.
movie ever. Not the best
Ever
movie ever
created.
created.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have that as my best movie ever created, but I have to sit here and give it his fucking respect and his due. It is a fucking good story.
But
Yeah, of course,
that's what I'm saying. There's how many movies that exist. You would give it his due. There's a lot of movies that are good, but we would never say it's the best. I would never say that. I like it, but I would never say that. And I think, like I said, mafia movies is just a small niche for that.
Now-
Like how good as it is, I don't think he would get that recognition by doing a mafia movie. That's just how I see it.
I got two questions. One I want to like. I'm guessing it's just a personal thing for David Chase. Like it's a personal goal in his life he wants to reach before he dies. Because my mindset would be like nowadays, fuck yeah, be the TV director that fucking puts awesome stuff, right? Like that has really high merit nowadays. Like, why wouldn't you want to be that? You know what I mean? That's one thing that I'm just like, why not fucking embrace it now more than ever and give like fucking people, because as much as I like this movie, I would have way preferred like fucking seasons of this story,
Claro.
like way more time with these characters than just the fucking movie. You know what I mean? So like,
Pero acuérdate
I
que
hope-
there is a level of prestige in doing a movie.
Yeah,
Eso es algo que nunca se le va a quitar, even with the advent of TV nowadays. Quizá cambie, pero for the current time, 2021, even to this day, there's a level of prestige in making a film versus una serie. Todavía se está. Porque there's still a level of stigma when
Yeah.
it comes to TV. Incluso, it's not TV anymore. We watch it on a TV, but it's technically not a TV show.
Yeah,
It's
not
it's
broad-
like
it's
a
not
streaming show, or it's
syndicated
a piece
broadcast,
of
whatever the fuck.
content, which there's even like a dirtiness to it in saying content. Para mucha gente bien elitista como yo.
Yeah, no, it's how you say it. It's kind of like it's kind of like how you look at the Oscars. Like everybody has a different feeling of how the Oscars are managed, how the winners are chosen, but there's still a prestige to be like, I'm an Academy Award winner.
I think also there's like layers to it too. Like, well, like you were saying, there's like you said, there's still a stigma and it's called content. But like, I wouldn't put anything that like HBO does as a show next to what CW does as a show.
Of course. Claro,
like, you know
siempre
what I mean?
HBO
Like the
siempre ha
way
sido
it's
reconocido por
presented.
quality. Pero
Yeah.
siempre HBO, el punto de HBO, even from the 2000s, that's why HBO consistently had good shows. Era porque su nivel de calidad era unmatched during those times. So, lo que pasa es que ya todo el mundo kind of got to that point where they all have really good quality shows en diferentes streaming platforms, diferentes canales, y que sí, okay. Pero back in the day, era HBO or bust. O sea, tenemos Sopranos, tenemos The Wire, tenemos West Wing, o sea, tenemos unos shows que were on, tenemos Band of Brothers, unmatched in the early 2000s.
No, even shit that doesn't appeal to us. Like, dude, Sex and the City numbers? Like, holy shit, bro.
Ridículo. Yeah. It was unmatched. It was completely unmatched. Pero los tiempos cambiaron. Everyone got to that point.
The other thing I wanted to ask was, like, take a film like Shawshank Redemption, right? Okay. That I think it's, even though it's not in our top 10, it's considered like a cinema masterpiece at this point, right? Am I right? So if you take a movie like Shawshank Redemption and you release it now, today, and you release it the same day on HBO Max, does that film still become a cinema masterpiece?
It could over time.
Because exactly over time, but
pasó con Shawshank también.
That happened with Shawshank anyway.
It did happen with Shawshank, por eso es que digo.
Pero, o sea, que las ventas de Shawshank when it came on the theaters were like,
oh yeah. No, so yo hice research. So it was 18 million, it bombed. Entonces, cuando tuvo los nominations, it got a re-release, entonces llegó hasta 58 millones. Granted, no es como un montón tampoco, pero entonces lo que salvó la película fue que como fue el advent of the rental, of the VHS rental, y los rental stores, y que sí, okay, it got rented a shit ton. Fue de las películas que más se rentó during that period of time. Y el syndication de estar en TBS, en TNT, en televisión constantemente. That is why you remember esa película so much. Y por es que tus padres se acuerdan tanto de esa película. It's because it was on repeat on TV. Como A Christmas Story. Constantly. So se quedó en el zeitgeist, se quedó en pop culture.
That's what I'm saying. Is when you think of these movies, that's why I keep saying the amount of money that these movies make doesn't necessarily mean that the person involved in the movie like might be blacklisted. Like mafia movies are not gonna make that much amount of money versus, let's say, Peyton Reed did Ant-Man or some shit like that. Yeah. That movie's gonna make a shitload of money, but the quality of the film, like if this guy would have got nominated for this movie, it would have did really good for his profile, you know, or whatever. So that's why when I think the movie did get a theatrical release, it's not a huge theatrical release because you could also see it in your house, but it did get a theatrical release. So if he did an amazing, awesome job of a movie that a lot of people didn't see and he would have got nominated for an Oscar, I don't think the fact that the movie came out on HBO would have affected him as much. Because if you release a really good product, no matter what, like how many movies last year on the Oscars were like from Netflix or some shit, like and that's streaming. That's not in the movie theaters. Some of them had limited releases, but those are streaming movies. The people that made those movies are gonna be held to a high regard because they made this quality product. For him, I think if he would have made a very good product from which it sounds like, from the way you guys explained it, from the way Louis explained it, it sounds like it's a really good movie for people that are fans of the genre and the specific Soprano show. If not, then it's not as great. It falls flat. So I don't think if this movie would have just been in the movie theaters, it would have made that big of a difference.
Yeah.
Everybody doing research? Fuck.
No. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to see the numbers because, like, It was rough the other days. It put it like in maybe like the 4s.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, can anybody
I was
find
like,
out
coño.
how much Goodfellas made? How much Casino made?
Okay.
Like, you think mafia movies? You think like these are like the highs? You have Godfather, you have Mafia, you have fucking Casino, and a lot of these movies have the same like actors surrounded in those movies.
Can we also take it? I mean, can you even do that? I mean,
116 millones. En Casino, that was double. Y eso era.
Oh, damn.
That's what I'm saying. These are
Goodfellas
movies.
considered.
For a movie to stay in your head, it doesn't necessarily need to make all these millions. Because if you're a fan of that genre, that movie is important to you. The Godfather is a mafia movie that it how you say it's not just about the mafia. They chose that setting to create this story about this family. About immigration. Like there's a lot of things that happen with the
That's
movie.
If you see the movie, I think it's totally opposite of that.
Not
It's a
family.
family. Bada bing, bada boom.
Not exactly family.
It's about family, but there's a lot of different types of families.
Family. Yeah.
I
guess family. The definition of family has wide mileage around the world.
But that's the whole point. It's a movie about this father raising his kids, how his kids come out, how family is also the environment around you. You're a product of the environment that you live in. Michael is a product of that environment. Michael started off.
Oh, you're talking about Godfather. Are you talking about Godfather?
Yes,
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the Saints of Newark. I was like,
no. I'm talking about Godfather. Like he started off this.
It's in the name. Bada bing, bada boom. It's Godfather.
Oh my
The
God.
father's in the name, man. What
Godfather
the
is a
hell?
movie.
And you people, Orengo just did that, and you people have a problem with Chris Pratt as Mario.
What can you do? What can you do, man?
Oh my God.
Ending that topic, my personal feeling is that I don't think this movie being released on HBO Max is gonna have too much of an impact on this man's career or what he wanted to do. I feel like I didn't see the movie, but from what it sounds like, from the people that I take your opinions, seriously. Like if I'm gonna talk about a mafia movie or something, I take Miguel's fucking opinion serious because he's a big fan of that. If I want to, talk about a fucking a love story or some shit, I ask Deke because Deke he has a true passion for that type of movie. If I want to, hear about for elitist shit, I ask Orengo if I should be snobby or not. Because that's the same movie.
By the way, parenthesis. Venom sequel feats on monstrous 90 million debut, setting pandemic record.
Wow.
This is what I
take
this
that.
is-
Cinema
Shang-Chi.
is not dead.
Take that, Shang-Chi.
People are willing to watch anything at this point. Yes.
Maybe
This is
mindless,
what I'm saying.
mindless fun over representation. Kiss my ass.
Bro, that's what I'm telling you.
Miguel
If-
said it,
when
I
you
didn't.
go to the cinema, when you go to the movie theaters, movies are subjective. Not everybody wants to sit in the movie theater and have a fucking experience of I found out who I am.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the more, maybe it sounds corny, but as I grow older, everything that elitists like Orengo say, everything that elitists like Orengo say that cinema is just fucking bullshit, just like pretty pictures to a dumbass crowd. Like I'm starting to believe it. I swear.
Bro, that's never.
I'm starting to believe it. You know how hard it is to get a fucking ticket to go see a movie like fucking Lamb? I have to drive a fucking hour away from my house.
Este man tiene el mapa y todo para llevar esa mierda.
I literally have to delve into the fucking bordellos of Miami to fucking go see something like Lamb, which has a lot of thought and meaning to it. But yet, if I want to go see fucking Venom, it's playing in 7 goddamn screens in 70 different theaters.
We've had this conversation over and over, and I told you, and I'll tell you again. That's how I feel the future of the movie theater experience is gonna go. Lamb versus Venom. I haven't seen none of the movies. I'm gonna take a guess and say Lamb is going to be a better product than Venom, but Venom is always gonna make more money because we don't always go to the movie theaters for what us four might consider
Oh, yeah.
a really great movie for that experience.
But that it doesn't
Some people
bother
just
me
want to
though.
get out
But
of their lives. They
that's the
want
thing,
to
though.
get out of the mundane, the bullshit, and they just want to be taken away somewhere.
Yeah, but you know what? I have an issue kind of with, and again, it's subjective, right? But it's just like what gets me a little upset is that like something as stupid as Venom gets like crave reviews, and something that like that has that's what it is at the end of the day, right? It's evil, disgusting money. But something that like has a bigger thought process behind it, like a movie. I haven't seen Lamb, so I can't say that this shit is the best. But like something that like makes you think.
Say the Green Knight.
Yeah, something like the Green Knight, right? Something that makes you think a whole lot more. Something that you're like, holy shit! Like it takes you on a fucking trip.
Yo, guys.
Like it gets ripped to shreds. And it's not
Yeah, I gotta go. Nada, Corillo, I'm sorry. Traté de estirar el chicle lo más que puedo, pero es que...
You bailed out when it was getting spicy. I have no respect for you, damn it. I'm kidding.
Entonces, nada, antes de irme bien rápido, es que Lex va a hablar después de My Hero, y solamente pues yo quería decirle, ¿verdad? Lex, o sea, ¿cómo tú puedes decir que lo que pasó en este season final y no?
Oh my god!
I cannot
again.
Okay.
You know, I was about to say, you know who else does that? China.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, it feels very
Go ahead.
Pero el peso de lo que ocurrió en ese season final, y si no estás al día, si tiene consecuencias en la historia principal.
Yeah.
Así que no vengas y dispares.
Yeah, but are you saying that? Are you saying
in
that?
other words, if you don't know what you're talking about, shut your lame ass up.
That's the point. That's the point. Are you saying that because you already know what's gonna happen? Because I don't know what's gonna happen. So when
I know what is gonna happen. Y cuando por
lo
lo menos
en
el momento
the mangas. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm sorry. The mangas.
That's a huge difference, pero eso es otro episodio.
The Japanese comics, get over it.
Pero es que la primera vez que yo lo leí, sin ver el contexto de lo que venía en el futuro, yo dije como que este momento es un pivotal moment para este personaje, y siendo el personaje que es el...
Pivotal.
¿Qué?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm an asshole. Go ahead.
What the fuck? This motherfucker
That's what I'm
confused me.
saying. You're watching it and you're like, this is a pivotal moment that's going to affect this that happens. But you already know what happens. So I don't know what happens. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, they're reflecting. They're going, wow, I changed so much. The fucking Shigaraki is like, yeah, fuck everybody. Give me this. Like, there's these things that are happening that if you didn't see this episode, if it ended with the last episode and you started the next season, you wouldn't be lost. You wouldn't be like, fuck, what happened? I don't understand what happened. But you fucking know already. So it's different for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true though. Pero
kind of like going to see the many Saints of Newark and not having seen the series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Full circle, this bitch.
Pero este season fue bien tranquilito para lo que viene ahora. O sea, prepárense mentalmente porque pues todos estos personajes, todo el arco de ahora es madurar a la máxima potencia. ¿Ah?
¿Te gustó este season?
Yeah. Like, este season realmente era preparación para el próximo. O sea,
Sí,
en
realidad
realidad,
no me gusta tanto. That's the thing. That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Did you
pero
see the last episode, Rengo?
I'm missing literally the last episode, pero yo soy el season entero.
Okay.
Es por eso que yo puedo hablar de esto y no me siento tan mal, pero no me fucking diga qué pasa en el episodio.
No. Pero todos estos personajes, pues, en el próximo arco tienen que crecer. Este es el famoso arco que yo digo que Miguel, después que vea este arco, no puede hablarle mierda de Deku. Después que vea este arco que viene ahora.
¿Sabes qué? ¿Sabes qué? I really don't. I don't care.
Nah, así mismo me siento yo con many Saints of Newark.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I really don't care about these characters. They really don't. They don't suck like that. Yeah. Anyway, gotta go. You gotta go.
Dale,
See you later.
Gotta
go. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, this is
Anyway.
what this group is made of. Vengeance. Pure vengeance.
like I was saying.
Wait, time out. Disclaimer. I totally do fucking care about these characters, but I wasn't going to give him the benefit.
Of course. que se vaya con eso pensándolo.
Exacto. Let him drive to work with that marinating on his mind.
Exacto.
Like I told you before, like I've said numerous times, I feel the same way. Like as we get older, I think it's just natural for when we were in our early 20s and people that were like 34 would see Marvel movies and were like, what's this popcorn bullshit? It's the same way 20 years ago when we saw Fast and Furious. None of the Fast and Furious movies are like these wildly great, critically acclaimed movies, but we saw them, all of them, strictly entertainment value.
Wait, hold on, time out. I'm sorry, I got a text message. I was responding really quick. You might want to drop that back a bit. We saw what movies that we didn't think they were
the whole Fast and Furious franchise.
No,
I feel like since
Time out.
They've been Fast 2 since Fast and Furious 2 until now. They've been growing with
in quality,
the ridiculousness of what happens in those movies, but the quality, like you wouldn't. I don't think anybody would say Too Fast, Too Furious is like this widely critically acclaimed wonderful movie. Like
they got Criterion ahí en el bookshelf. What are you talking about?
You take this character after he's basically ostracized from a community.
Thank you.
And you let him refine himself.
Exactly.
Back with friends from his past that kind of symbolized the relationship he had originally with these new people. Yeah. And he did that wrong. So he's redeeming himself by helping these people out of kiss. Tell me, bro.
It's analysis tuyo.
You know what it is? Maybe it's just over your head. But there's deep layers in that.
I feel like
maybe it goes over your head.
When we saw those movies,
as a 13-year-old, I was totally picking apart this movie like that.
These fucking movies, we love these movies when they came out. As we get older, I haven't even seen the last one because you get tired of it. But with that said, the movie theaters, their main, I would say the main demographic of the people that go to movie theaters are not just men 34 to 35 years old. Okay. A lot of these fucking kids is what pushes the movies, early 20s. Like that's just what the movie theater experience is. That's why big budget Hollywood blockbusters, those are the experiences you remember from the movie theaters. The Dark Knights, the Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings. The main, like in your memory banks, when you're a kid, it's these big budget movies. I remember when I saw Matrix. I remember when I saw Mortal Kombat. I came out of that fucking movie theater to everybody. As you get older, we are getting older. What makes money in the movie theaters is the fucking same. It's the same thing that's in the 90s. It's the same thing in the early 2000s. It's the same thing now.
But the shift's always been que por lo menos back in the 80s, back in the 70s, back in the 90s, como no había estos IPs because they didn't exist, porque no había estos big franchises, sí, habían sus remakes de vez en cuando que salían, pero studios were forced to bank on ideas that seem marketable. So, la idea de tener, por ejemplo, un Ghostbusters seemed appealing because you got a cast of amazing comedians in a wacky, sellable package of them hunting ghosts. So it's actiony, but you have these wonderful cast of great comedians. Y dejaron que fluyera, and it made a shit ton of money. Tú tienes E.T., where is this journey of a kid, which it's proven because family, right? And then you have empaquetado con the alien. But the thing about these movies back in the day era que while they were selling essentially a product, let's not kid ourselves, siempre había un intent behind it, siempre había un thought process behind it, siempre había una marca de alguien que se podía trace back to something more tangible y algo que tenía propósito. So when you go now con estas películas que todas están banking on IP, they're banking on nostalgia, they're banking on Easter eggs, they're banking all these elements, porque ya se ha diluido tanto y ya los estudios están bien certeros de lo que saben que venden, que they don't need to put any extra effort or anything else because they know already what sells. They don't make the extra effort to do anything else because they know they don't need to, which is a very cynic point of view de por qué es que tenemos las películas que tenemos. Pero Venom doesn't need to be anything else because it only needs to be lo que funciona el anterior in order to like make sure que it appeals to what people liked in the first one. Throw a bunch of Easter eggs, throw a bunch of references, call it a day, 90 millones. But back
But
in
then
the day, that wasn't the thing. Por eso es que we also can't dismiss también esas películas from back in the day because there were still some intent behind them, even when they were selling you something. Porque no existía nada que preemptively ya el estudio sabía que funcionaba. Ya con tantos años de mercadeo, tantos años de ver los trends, now they are able to dissect a movie almost like if it was a fucking algorithm, and they know what functions y pueden empaquetarlo todo y tienen que tener someone who has to direct it, porque obviamente, but they're like, we don't need your voice, and if you want to put your voice, you can fucking put your voice, but it's going to be so diluted en todo lo demás que there's not going to be a trace of your voice, unless you make it loud enough, como por ejemplo maybe a James Gunn, to give him some credit, or por ejemplo Taika Waititi, where his voice is so fucking loud that you can still kind of see the threads of his voice and what he's trying to say within todo eso. So, pero you're right. Obviamente, las películas que son on an epic scope, películas que son básicamente eventos, siempre van a ser recordar nuestra memoria porque son cosas grandiosas que nunca hemos visto a esa escala, especialmente when we're so young and impressionable. Por eso es que Star Wars sigue siendo Star Wars, especially to the people who actually saw it in the 70s in a movie theater. Porque nunca habían visto algo ever in their fucking life like that. So you're right, totalmente. Tienes un punto.
That's what, and I've said it's not something that, how you say that, it's not something that I agree. It's for me, and like someone, it's just what I see as fact. I see as a fact that as we go on, the movie theaters is going to become the type of experience that is going to be made for these movies that are going to guarantee these multiple millions of dollars. It's not that I'm agreeing on it. It's just we are getting to be the old generation, and the new generation is going to come. And these things just happen to die off. Radio, newspapers, like as we continue, what's TikTok? TikTok is like 30-second videos, and it's like one of the highest fucking social networks now. Like that how you call that? Your span of your attention span, it gets lesser and lesser with these other kids that are coming up now. And those are the people,
it's been shorter, yes.
Those are the people that are gonna tell the movie theaters what they want to see, how much they want to pay. So when you're HBO Max, yeah, it's an insult to a lot of these directors and a lot of these producers that you take their film and you just put it on their fucking app. But they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about the long game. They're thinking about what these kids want to see, and when they get older, what those other kids want to see. They're looking afar. I don't agree with it because I think it's still fucked up. I think you should have the option. But when you take somebody's movie that could have made this amount of million that would have went into their pockets, and you take that opportunity away from them, that's fucked up. I remember when Godzilla and King Kong.
How about sustainability, bro? Like, you can't sit there and say, oh no, the movie theaters will be around forever because they'll just be movies that, but it's a fucking commerce, like it's a fucking business. If you can't sustain itself, they're going bye. They're not gonna be here.
The mom and pop theaters are gonna go bye.
Bro, but AMC is not a mom and pop theater.
No, pero esa es la cosa, but the mom and pop ones are going to disappear as a result of what's happening right now.
They are going to disappear, and there's still going to be people that are going to want to see the next Fast and Furious in the movie.
But you've already seen it done to a chain like AMC. What's to tell you that it won't do it to the rest of the chains? AMC was literally on the, like, you could fucking... The fact that, pardon my French, because it's the truth. The fact that un pelado like you, que un pelado like me, and Orengo, I don't know your
I'm a hobo.
Can buy a shitload of shares of AMC, a fucking company that's been around for ages, shows you how bad and dire they are fucking doing.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Saying.
You know,
yeah,
So if we keep going towards the whole, they release digital, fuck the cinemas, or we keep out taking the chunk out and the chunk out and the chunk out, dude, I don't think the theaters are going to be around for long.
Pero por eso es lo que está argumentando. Okay, what he's saying, lo Alex is saying specifically is that AMC is going to push harder para solamente tener películas que son de 150 millones, 200 millones in budget. Anything else va a estar relegado to streaming service. O sea, este experimento que pasó en pandemia demonstrated, y lo que terminó pasando con Shang-Chi y ahora Venom, and probably even Bond, ¿sabía? Hasta Bond dio hace 100 million. Ya ahora, ya creo que puede ser indudable de que quizás hasta con 100 millones for the sheer desperation de que people do want to go to a movie theater to see like an experience, like a big blockbuster thing. Pero no van a ir a ver fucking Green Knight. Green Knight tuvo en cines comerciales. No one fucking saw it. Granted, estábamos
No.
en una parte de la pandemia donde está un poquito más dire, pero even then, había salido Black Widow like a week or two before, y eso hizo un fracata de fucking chavo. So, el argumento es que AMC is just going to push harder because they realize we can't put a Saints of Newark cuando yo pude haber tenido ese espacio for another fucking Venom, and I could have made even more fucking money, pero por querer tener Venom, porque fucking Warner Brothers le tengo obviamente un contrato y un whatever, y me exigieron esta mierda. I know I'm going to lose money on that stupid movie because they told me to put it. Pero now I could have in the future they could be like, no, that movie's gonna be on HBO Max. No, that movie's gonna be on Netflix. No. Tú tienes que pagarme extra para tú tener el pleasure de yo ponerle esta peliculita, porque yo sé que esta película no va a ser chavo. I'd rather have Spider-Man 7 over here because I know that's gonna make me money. So they're gonna have to push harder por esa razón because they are in a dire place right now. They can't afford to have estas películas nicho que de por sí, as it stands right now, AMC doesn't carry Lamb. Like, lo más que yo he visto Art House es que a few years back I saw la de A24, It Comes at Night. Yo la vi en AMC theater. Surprisingly, it was an AMC theater, but it was like on 2 of them de las 7 que hay en New York. It was on 2 of them.
That gets with us here spiritually. Eso lo que está
salvando. Es que cinema is going to stay alive, bro.
It's going to stay alive, but it will have to shift. And I don't like this, but it's going to have to shift a esas películas de 150 millones o 200 millones because they are the event movies. Because es como Lex dice, people generally do just want to go for an experience, but it's going to push harder a que van a ser exclusivo a experiencias bien bombásticas. It's not even going to be the $100 million budget experience. It's not going to be like a Deadpool. Está bien, Deadpool no mal ejemplo. Let's say like an E.T. Por decirte un ejemplo viejo, I guess. Like un E.T. or whatever, or like maybe a Nolan movie, que a veces no tienen unos budgets tan grandes. Quizás those type of films va a llegar a un punto que even a Nolan movie couldn't be able to play it in AMC, porque AMC va a estar diciendo, sí, es Nolan, es probado, pero Spider-Man 7 va a salir más o menos una semana antes, and I want to have an extra space, so I don't want to have Tenet 3 in my movie theater. I want to have Spider-Man 7. So Nolan, screw you. I'll find a movie theater that might support you, but it's not gonna be us.
Yeah, Nolan is gonna have to like, how you say? Because I feel like I love Christopher Nolan. No matter what, I love Christopher Nolan. I think his movie. I love Inception. I love Interstellar. I love the movies. When it comes to Christopher Nolan, his next movie is a biopic.
Es un biopic de
the guy that invented the atom bomb.
Yeah, that doesn't scream blockbuster to me. Yeah, that might get some award.
Because you're uncultured swine.
No, it doesn't scream blockbuster in the truest sense of the word.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, how many? It's rare. It's happened, but it's rare that movies that are in the best film category are also the highest grossing movies of the year. Sí. That doesn't happen all the time. It happens.
No todos son Titanics, es verdad.
Black Panther, Titanic, like it happens, but that's not the norm.
It's sad. It's sad that the one thing we love the most is the one thing that's gonna be our fucking demise of our favorite thing.
I don't think
we've been conditioned. We've conditioned ourselves to like turn off the brain to enjoy the movie. So now when you do have a movie that you have to turn on your brain, it's not really gonna sell because
I love this dialogue. See, give me more.
It's the truth. It's the truth that it sucks because I'm a huge fan of the products that come out. I've given them tons of bags of my money to watch every single year movie.
Too. So I
know what I mean.
También, even cuando yo me leo.
So it's like we've killed ourselves with our own medicine. When is too much pizza? Too much pizza.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. When the people, like I said, the people that control what happens in the movie theaters are the consumers.
Yeah.
And the people that
Eso aplica para todo.
That's what I'm saying. The people that are throwing down the money, the consumers, are not us. We're old already. The consumers are the people younger than us. So that's why it's gonna be harder to catch bro, Venom. You just said it. You saw Venom versus
and I paid for it.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. You paid for it. You're part of the fucking problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I just said. We're the ones
making $90 million. Those movies that make that amount of money, because remember the movie theaters, a lot of the money that they make is the fucking popcorn, the fucking soda, the fucking nachos, like all that shit is what they make. So if they could get a movie that's gonna get really packed, that it guarantees the more money that they're gonna make on the end versus you get lamb and there's like 5 people in it.
Yeah.
There's going to be a market for that. I truly believe there's going to be mom and pop movie theaters that will survive. But the main thing, most of them are not.
Yeah.
Most of them
And they'll cater to these like estudios de Neon, estudios de like A24 y todo eso, porque A24 built a niche within what we have. Entonces they basically are in Miramax en nuestros tiempos. Miramax during those times, if you remember, was very popular. Era lo contrario de todo lo que salía de Hollywood itself. Y entonces siempre va a haber ese nicho, because it will always be there, porque para todas nuestras vidas hay un nicho. Like, even the comic book industry, DC and Marvel are dying, pero tú vas a un Kickstarter de Boom Studios promoviéndote like Power Rangers y eso tiene un fracatán de chavos que le dieron a la gente porque ese es un nicho. So siempre va a haber un nicho for literally anything. Pero like the main bulk, it will have to be esos big blockbuster movies. Even I realized that. Yeah.
People are gonna have to get comfortable with the idea that a lot of these movies that you can almost guarantee that are not going to be breaking $100 and $200 million, which even now there's some movies that make $200 and they be like, this fucking movie flopped. Tenet is considered a flop, and it made what?
300, almost 400.
300 something million dollars. They were like, what a fucking flop. No. So even those movies, some flops, you're gonna have to get comfortable with the idea that you're either gonna have to go very, very fucking far to see this movie, or start getting a really good sofa and a really good TV because your ass is gonna be watching that in the house.
Fuck that! I want to support the cinemas. I want the theaters to stay open or whatever. I truly do. Like I really,
same.
I drive, dude. I'll fucking drive. I really don't care. I am disgusted. It is though. Like I can only compare it to like a toxic relationship with an ex that has really good sex.
With a symbiote.
Like no, because it's like literally like I can't help but stand by everything I said, that like this turning off of your brain thing is what's killing, movies, because we support products that are like, I wouldn't say like mentally inferior, but they're just for the instant gratification. But yeah, I can't help but think what the fuck is gonna happen in the next Spider-Man movie.
There you go. Having all of that said,
Spider-Man. And I feel like that's something that gradually happens just the older that you get. Like this wouldn't have happened to us when we were 18 and 19, fucking eating up all of these fucking stupid movies. That at that time, there was only like Georgie that was like this stupid shit. Georgie was like the only one I remember.
Georgie, you were so wise. You were so ahead of the time, Georgie. You were miserable. You were miserable as fuck, but you were so ahead of the
time. That's the fucking point. Like when you're young, you enjoy those movies. So that's why I said movie.
Georgie was the person that we waited for. Every time we went to see something we loved, we knew he was gonna shit on it.
And like, that's what I'm saying. It's like what Martin Scorsese says, that these things become like a theater park. They become like a Disney World. And for me, there's nothing wrong with that, because like I said, you can't encase what's cinema. Venom, it's not easy to make a movie that is as entertaining as Venom make $90 million, because if that was the case, there would be no flops. Everybody would just make stupid movies and all of them would make money. Yeah. So there is a formula. It's not easy to do. It's hard to do that. That's its own talent. It's just not appreciated by everybody because it's for its own demographic. It's for its own people. There's like, we love Stranger Things. Stranger Things is not for fucking everybody. I was a fan of Arrow. You didn't fucking like Arrow. I was fucking whatever. There's not everybody's fans of Star Wars. Not everybody's of fucking The Godfather. It's how it is. Movies
I love the shows you start liking and I hate them, and then by the end it's done, you're like, this is garbage, and I'm like, I told you so.
I didn't say that about Arrow. I never said that about Arrow. Bitch.
Yes, you did. Go on with your speech, but yes, you did.
I never said Arrow. Anyway,
the same thing you did with Game of Thrones. I'm like, Nick.
Again.
This season finale is fucking rough as shit. No, bro. No. You're just hating. I'm like, bro, this is very fucking
I don't know how many times I have to explain this on fucking video. I fucking like the series as entire. I disagree with some of the decisions in season 8. I will still die on the hill that Game of Thrones is one of the best fucking series ever created. I would
Oh,
die
no,
on that fucking hill.
I agree with you.
Yep,
No,
I
that
would-
totally I agree with you. Whatever,
Oh,
I agree with
there
it.
was
But that
things-
last season was the
But there was-
perfect description is the meme of the horse, drawn
But-
perfectly and illustrious in the first half, and then as you get towards the tail, it's just like a fourth grader. Like
I truly enjoyed 7 seasons of that show. When season 8 came in, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt because they gave me 7 fucking years of really good fucking show.
Mhm.
They went off the fucking rails. At the end, they went off the fucking rails. But I still die on that hill. That's one of the best shows ever. But it's like I'm saying,
Yeah.
art is subjective with these movies. Like we can't all just say this movie is shitty and this movie's good. We can say our opinions. I thought this movie was shitty, but it's a fucking product, bro, that's making almost $100 million.
Mhm.
It's good for its audience. And as we get older, once we hit 40, you get comfortable with the streaming shit. I'm telling you now, get comfortable with the streaming shit. When we hit our 40s, that's what we're going to be watching. The majority of the movies that we're interested as 40-year-old men.
Yeah. It is true. Yep.
I don't think
Especially
cinema is going to die at all.
It's just going to evolve into something else.
But it's just going to be a different, how you say it? It's just going to be a different way to digest these movies.
Mhm.
Cinema is always going to be there. You know, say you had what in the 20s, you had the Charlie Chaplin movies, you had these silent movies, and little by little they go ahead and they evolve into what we have now.
The blockbuster wasn't a thing until the 70s.
That's
They just
what I'm
made
saying.
movies. And movies were made with ideas of what would the audience like. So a veces no, they wouldn't greenlight weird shit because they were like, cuando ya estaban los 50, más o menos, 40, 50, they already had an idea of what the people liked. So they gave them more of that. Por eso hay tanto film noirs, por eso hay tanto películas romanticonas y qué sé yo qué, because they knew kind of what they wanted during those times. They weren't up for experimentation like when they started out, because at the beginning they didn't know what the fuck was going to be a hit or not.
Mhm.
So ya más o menos empezaron a estructurar. Cuando Jaws salió, that shit changed the game, because then they were like, oh, we can make like a movie in the summer because we realize more people are free in the summer, and we can make something that's kind of bombastic and out there, and it's
Mhm.
gonna make a truckload of money. Great. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Everyone doubted that Star Wars was gonna be a stupid hit. No one had faith in that because no one knew what could be potentially a hit. So,
And it's also cultural too.
también.
It's like a really American type of thing.
Sí.
Like I wouldn't know, but I don't think like the movies that are held to high standards in France are the same as, you know, over here or as in Russia. Like the way
No,
they
no.
make their movies.
Lo que pasa es que todo depende, siempre pues, because of Hollywood being so powerful, que está por encima de todos los otros estudios y todas las otras industrias que hay de cine en todo el mundo entero. Siempre hay clásicos que even if you go to France, you'd be like,
Mhm.
yes, The Godfather is a masterpiece. Pero sí, en Francia, por ejemplo, Godard es un dios del cine French New Wave. Obviamente eso es indiscutible. Y Breathless es un fucking masterpiece en Francia. Por eso es que, yes, they do have sus masterpieces en cada sitio. Por ejemplo, en Italia, you know, Spaghetti Westerns, Sergio Leone y todo eso también. Pero obviamente, indiscutiblemente, siempre los clásicos reconocidos internacionalmente sí van a ser Hollywood-based because
But
it's
that's what
so
I'm saying.
strong.
Even
So strong.
even now, like if you see what's like the highest grossing movies in China, they're like shit that you never heard of.
That is true. Sí.
There's
China's the only
there's
one.
movies. Yeah, I be watching what's over there. Like I don't see the movie, but I see okay, what's like topping the charts over there, and it's like this is like something Detective Part 3. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never even heard of this movie. I think culturally it's just different too. Like this whole blockbuster thing it feels like it's gonna sound how it sounds, but it feels really American. This is how it is. It feels really American when it comes to this type of shit. Anyway, we've been on this way too long. We're on this way too long. Let's fucking get.
I'm
into-
sorry. You said Russian movies, and my mind just delved off into remember Night Watch.
Oh, I
Yes.
remember.
Remember Night Watch and Day
Let me
Watch?
take that shit off. Yeah, we never got the fucking third part.
They never
We
did,
were-
which was
we
kind of
were-
frustrating because I kind of like those movies.
I like
we
those
were
movies.
when
Never
those
got-
movies came off, we were sucking that movie off.
Bro,
so
I
bad.
forgot fucking name.
Night Watch
It was
fue
like
primero, ¿verdad?
Timor-
Yeah, Night Watch. Night Watch was
Timor
the first
some
one.
shit.
That
Timor
shit blew
Blanc,
my
no matter
mind
what.
when I saw that. I was like,
Yeah,
very impressionable.
Didn't didn't the guy that do Night Watch? Didn't he do Wanted?
yeah. He was
Yes.
a character in Wanted. Oh, was it?
No,
the,
but I'm
it
talking
wasn't
about
the
the
same
director.
director.
On the director.
I think
Yo
the
creo que
director-
sí.
okay.
Yeah.
Creo que sí. Mhm.
I remember I was watching that shit, and you were the one that I think showed it to me, whatever.
That-
And I was just like,
fucking movie.
isn't that the fucking guy from Wanted? I was like, isn't that the guy with the mouses and the peanut
With the
butter and all
mouse,
that shit? I was like,
We're the fucking main character of that fucking movie, yo.
yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
So
yeah.
what if?
What if this
What if?
episode was the Ultron episode?
Mhm.
Let's get into it. First off, did everybody enjoy this episode?
Yes.
yeah, it's one of the better ones.
I
I mean, in my
enjoyed,
opinion, sorry.
I enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna go first. I feel I had discussed this with Miguel. I feel like I would have enjoyed the series as a whole if it would have been more along the lines like Black Mirror, The Outer Limits, Twilight Zone. Like we would have got these really funky stories that have nothing to do with each other. I feel like the decision at the very end to bring like I wish the Ultron's episode for me would have mixed well with the other episodes if it would have been earlier on in the season, because I feel like bringing it so, even though we knew because of the trailers and whatever that they sooner or later were to come together, I really wish that wasn't the case. I really wish these episodes would have been in their own bubble each episode and they would have never connected. And with the fact that they are going to connect, I wish Ultron, that episode would have been earlier in the series so that we could have had more concrete, okay, this is what's happening. These stories are going to connect. It wasn't us playing the guessing game. We're like, yeah, this is going to happen because, look, Ultron is doing this shit and that shit.
Mhm.
I feel like, for me, What If is a little disappointing because I felt like I was so hyped to see it before it came out. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm just watching just to know what the fuck is going to happen. I'm not really super excited. I just want to know. I've invested fucking 7 weeks with this shit. I want to know what's going to happen. How about you
Okay.
guys?
You want to go first, Orengo? Go ahead.
Okay.
Piss on it
Wait.
so then I can bring it back a little bit.
This is my favorite, my second favorite episode. So, I mean, Doctor
But
Strange.
The
esta
series
es la
as a
vara.
whole.
Mira, ay, pero dame el primero. Easy. Doctor Strange. Second favorite episode. The whole series. So, the series as a whole, completely agree with Lex. I think que esto se prestaba mucho mejor para irse bonkers, porque tienes un universo entero donde puedes explorar esto. I understand the reasoning, lo he dicho trillones de veces ya. I understand the reasoning why tiene que ser como es, because also you gotta have to strike a balance between the people who literally don't know anything about comic books y la gente que sí sabe de comic books. Y the way they went about it was, okay, let's just use nuestro universo como base and then go from there. And that's what they did, and I think it's functional. I don't like it. I would have preferred they went just bonkers porque, you know, hay episodio where you hint at that and you kind of go a little bit off the grid y off the rails y yo no siento que la gente se perdería. Pero I digress. I think the problem is también in forms of storytelling. Most of the episodes are just a reskin of another character or a reskin of a movie, and they don't play much around with the concept que entonces traen a la mesa, which de por sí it's a flimsy concept. Es como que, oh, what if Killmonger saved Iron Man? Just by reading it, I can deduce, well, he doesn't become Iron Man. That's for sure, because yo sé que la catarsis y la razón de ser de Iron Man es por lo que le pasa on that cave. So I already know that's going to be the end result of that. So question is answered. What else do you do with it? Oh, you just do the whole Black Panther movie again. So ese es como que es el main gripe que yo tengo, where they post these questions, they post these concepts, and they really don't play with it at all. Hay bien poco episodio que they utilize the concept and they play with it. Most of them is simplemente rethreads of things we've already seen, just reskinned in another way. Y that's not what If is. You know, I mean, What If is to some degree something like that, but even when they just reskin a character to be another character, they go bonkers with it. Like, yo vi cuando Batman lo pusieron como Wolverine and they just went bonkers with it. Por darte un ejemplo, yo sé que eso Elseworld no es lo mismo, pero I'm just saying. The idea then to United, yo era de los que estaba heavily against it, having watched esta primera parte, lo que potencialmente es un two-parter. I like what they're going for, because, pues, I do enjoy cuando tenemos personajes that we've kind of seen them grow, and technically the Watcher's been the only constant thing that you've seen up to that point. Ya obviamente sabemos que van a salir todos los demás. Pero ver cómo the Watcher has been struggling throughout this series was an interesting idea. I wish it would have just been the Watcher, ser el personaje constante y todo lo demás ser just one-offs, y tener este dilema with the Watcher that he's going throughout. Todos estos episodios wanting to help but struggling, y que sí, okay, a lo último he kind of caves into his own morals and ethics and whatever. That's very interesting. Pero if given the chance, I would have just preferred que todo fuera como lo que vi en Visions. But esos Visions, I really enjoyed it too much. Even though it's a lot of kyber crystals and lightsabers in most episodes, at least there's a distinctive voice. Se presta para contar historias bien variadas, bien diferentes, and they all seem to have something to say, as opposed to most of these that do not. Y ya, that's kind of it, in the overall sense.
All right, let me get ready here. Hold on, I got something.
So what if it's like the best thing ever?
Very controversial.
Fucking
Give me a
swine.
one shot. Give me a one shot. Give me one shot.
Dale.
Give me a one shot.
Here we go.
Give me one shot.
Here we go.
Hunker down. I got a hot take.
You're both right.
I like that.
I love it.
I like
You're
that.
both right. I started out really hyped for this show. And as it went on, I wouldn't call it like a total failure of an experiment by far. It's just not as entertaining as I thought it was gonna be. As it went on, I started feeling like Nick, like you're doing like linking this at the end all together feels like a fucking cheap shot. Like we ran out of the creative juices. we can't fill out fucking 12 or 9 stories. So they're all fucking run into each other, and it's the Avengers all over again, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like you're basically gonna get the one shot. Like they do show you the one shot of the panning around and blah blah blah. This episode in particular was fun. I do agree with Orengo that Doctor Strange episode was dope as shit, and you know I felt
like
like
the main consensus from everybody.
Sí, definitivamente.
Doctor Strange
Yo había preguntado a un
episode.
montón de gente.
I think
they're
because
all
it made
very-
you because it made you fucking feel things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it evoked a lot of different like feelings out of like straight up the balance of that character. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the whole theme of love and what are you willing to actually sacrifice to be with somebody that you're attached to no matter what? Like you literally caved the fucking multiverse in on itself just to be with this person. You know what I mean? Whether you know the results are good or bad, it was remain to be seen by him, but he was willing to give up everything to try to find a way to be with her. Dude, that's some heavy shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's not your cereal box type story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even when yourself comes out and tells you, "Don't fucking do it."
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a very good episode, and like you said, it was kind of like the epitome of what this series could have been. You know what I mean? Back to this episode though. This episode.
Mencionaste una cosita. I want to quickly address it. Me hiciste pensar por un segundo. They do show el 360 shot de los Avengers.
Actually they show you the 360 shot
They
though
do
with the
both.
new. Yeah, they do both.
Exacto.
Yeah, they do both.
Okay, so it's so fucking depressing to think que even en lo poquito que Joss Whedon, horrible director, fuck it, pero por lo menos, even in the elements where there's iconic, memorable moments in that first Avengers movie, todo tiene que estar tan diluido, todo tiene que ser tan referential in today's pop culture zeitgeist, que no pueden ni dejar que algo on its own exista. Porque es como que it's so hacky el mero hecho de que they did that. Es como que de lo poco que Joss Whedon beautifully crafted que fue ese 360 shot, que yo me quedé como que even when I saw it in my cynical point of view when I was in 2012, yo dije, wow, it's really fucking cool. Ver como que the epitome of all this build up of a few years built into one singular shot. It's not the most amazing shot. It's just a shot that hasta Zack Snyder ha hecho. Everyone's fucking done a million years, but in the context of everything, it made sense. And it is very important and very significant. Y ver como it's fucking diluted, repurposed, repackaged y vomitado, como si fuera un fucking Whopper en este What If, just shows you la mentalidad de a lot of studios, a lot of people que están en la industria where they just can't let anything exist and they can't just have the idea of creating something new. Lo cual entonces me preocupa porque Doctor Strange is the only fucking thing everyone generally likes. Y yo estoy leyendo estúpidos rumores de que they're gonna fucking put him in the fucking Doctor Strange movie, and I'm gonna get significantly fucking pissed off si yo llego a ver ese fucking dark Doctor Strange en la puta película. Porque es como que you really can't let things just exist. You really have to be like, oh, it's the only thing that fucking paid off in this whole experiment, so let's just take it and just put it in another movie because that's what people fucking like, right? You like it. You fucking like it. You fucking like go eat it. Consume it. I'm sorry. Es que me hiciste pensar
I mean though, not to cover them, but if that does show up, Doctor Strange already finished filming, didn't they?
Yes, pero reshoots are a thing, man. Reshoots are a thing.
I mean, could be, but if that's in the story, I think it's something that they already knew. Like I said, I don't agree with it.
Okay.
But to see it in the movie one way or another, I feel like that's
their
the
MO.
formula.
That's their MO.
That's what they do. That's the formula. Connect things all together. Like that's you like.
Pero connecting all things together is not the same thing. Me explico. Por ejemplo, cuando tú tuviste the Avengers shot, ¿verdad? They did it. You didn't see that in Endgame. They could have easily done un 360 shot de todos los 30 Avengers que tenían ahí. They opted for more of a weird dolly shot that I don't agree with. But they did a weird dolly shot. Entonces they made that iconic moment cuando Captain America dice Assemble. Y vélate que de aquí a 5 años, en un What If 2, menos de 5 años, de aquí a 2 o 3 años, en What If 2, they're going to repurpose that thing y va a ser fucking Groot diciendo Avengers Assemble. ¿Me entiendes? Entonces es como que
it's gonna be Howard the Duck.
The few things within todo estos gigantic IPs where they are meaningful to us and they actually create iconic moments to be remembered forever, then they get diluted and repurposed for the sake of remember berries, ¿me entiendes?
Remember.
Te hace destruir esos momentos, puñeta, because they can't just exist now. They have to be repurposed, repackaged all over again. And it's so frustrating porque entonces no dejas que nada nuevo se pueda construir, no dejas que nuevos iconic moments se crean. Entonces, almost by fucking mistake, el Doctor Strange happens because at this point, I swear it was just a fluke. It was a fluke that episode is so good. Y entonces tener el pensamiento de que, wow, Marvel puede ser tan fucking greedy que they might just take the singular thing that worked in What If y como es un multiverse story, they can just justify que Portal se habla al lado de Doctor Strange mientras está durmiendo y ve his like other self with the little crystal and be like, you didn't get it? Y entonces sale un pequeño Ang Lee, un Ang Lee, no, un pequeño fuck, se me olvidó el nombre de él, and he died. No, dije Ang Lee, no es Ang Lee, oh my god.
Sam Raimi?
No, the man who did Spider-Man.
Y
dije Ang Lee. Es que estoy pensando en Ang Lee todavía. Stan Lee. Thank you.
Oh
Sorry.
My God. Está revolcando su tumba.
Un pequeño deepfake Stan Lee diciendo, whoop, you don't remember what this character is? Y pone un asterisco, go to What If episode 4 so you can have the full reference.
You gotta do the little Mortal Kombat face. Toasty!
Entonces, como que se levanta ahí, te dice la explicación para que you understand the reference. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. And you're probably right. They might just put him porque money, pero coño.
It's a marketing technique, bro. At the end of the day, like I think it's done for the mere fact of the existence of Disney Plus. Disney Plus is a fucking product for you to watch all their shit. So how do you constantly plug all their material and new material? I think that's what I honestly think like stuff like that. That's literally what they do it for.
It's
the whole pan around is like, oh shit. What like that or like an older person tell their kid like, oh, like just an Avengers, and the kids are like, what do you mean? Oh, let's watch it together. Like I think that's the thought process behind that shit.
Super smart.
It's I see the money. Like I see the money behind it. I see the money behind it. I never thought of it as deep as Orengo did. but I could see where that would trigger you because it is an iconic moment. You know what I mean?
Oh,
De los
I like
pocos
to-
que tú tienes, porque para colmo,
Yeah.
de los pocos que uno
So-
puede
so-
concebir, que uno...
So retread old territory is
Sure.
just like, but then again, that's literally what this fucking series is at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I know.
that's
Like
fair.
it's not their victory lap because they did their victory lap already with Endgame or
yeah.
Infinity War.
Mhm.
It's the remember this. Remember why
everything
you
is
love this
remember
part of
this.
the movie?
Yeah.
So
Right, and it's going, and I guarantee you that that's gonna work for a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be like, oh,
I wasn't too thrilled when I saw it, but I was like, oh, I get it. I got the reference.
That's
I
what I'm
get
saying.
it.
There's gonna be people that are gonna just like there was people that felt like the Star-Lord episode, like Orengo was like T'Challa Star-Lord, a piece of shit, and then there was other people was like, this is a good episode, yo. This is a good episode. It's just how it is, bro. There's an audience for it, and it
We should
all comes down.
ask in retrospect now if people still remember that episode so fondly.
the
in
T'Challa
retrospect.
episode.
Sí, pero como fue el segundo, it was very early on, and we were with high hopes of this. Now that we've become very cynical of it, now it's interesting. Cuando se acaba el show, ¿verdad? Que se acaba next Wednesday, it should be cool hacer un episodio with everyone and get that perspective now. To
It's
see
literally
if,
thinking back. It's literally the same thing. It's marketing. It was instead of
No, claro.
you remember the scene. It's like
sí, pero
you
hay un
remember this guy.
contexto
You remember
ahora, hay
this
un contexto
guy.
histórico ahora because of the person. Ya eso otros 20 pesos, and I understand it why. Pero maybe now que ya se ha visto todo el plethora of episodes, maybe the whole emotional como que baggage que tiene ese episodio se fue un poquito porque ya tuviste hasta T'Challa par de veces. It wasn't the only time. At that point, you thought it maybe that was the only time you were going to see his performance. You've basically seen him in all episodes. You're probably going to see him in the finale también. So now with all that in context, que se diluye hasta su último fucking performance. Look how fucking tragic that even is. Que no puede ser un swan song a él como ser como que Star-Lord, this other character. What if? Ya está diluido porque él sale big with one leg in el zombie episode. Imagínate. And he gets one line in the Killmonger episode. So it's como que
I at least for me, the way I see the series, for me, my favorite episode is Doctor Strange, and the T'Challa episode is my second favorite. I was highly entertained by the episode. I remember how I felt when I saw it still, versus how I felt seeing the other episodes. Like I thought the zombie episode was good because it was just something that I wasn't expecting. It wasn't a rehash of anything. I liked the Thor episode strictly because it reminded me of Ferris Bueller. It reminded me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It reminded me
I
of
love all the thematical elements.
I don't know,
to it
like I get so triggered when you say that. It's just like, oh.
because
Like,
I didn't
Ferris
remind me
Bueller.
of Ferris Bueller.
Yes, oh my god, Jesus Christ! Like Ferris Bueller is such a good, like one of my favorite movies of all time. To compare this to that,
Because
just like,
that Party Thor episode is that it's a very diluted version of Ferris Bueller. It's what people cuando remember very vaguely Ferris Bueller. That's what people remember. They don't remember the deep character arc que tenía Cameron cuando le da la catarsis de lo que pasa en la película. No one fucking remembers that, bro. They only remember Party.
But
Dog and Shane, darling. That's all they remember. The fucking
that's why I say if
one big parade float of an episode. Great.
If it felt like an 80s John Hughes film. That's what it felt like. So it was entertaining, but it was as entertaining.
I'm sorry, John Hughes. I'll light a candle for you tonight.
Rolling in his fucking grave right now.
Bro, rolling? I hope he fucking pulls your legs at night. I swear.
Bro. When it comes, at least for me, when it comes to John Hughes movies, I like Ferris Bueller, and that's about it. I'm not gonna lie. At Sweet 16, The Breakfast Club, I think they're all right, but they're not.
Wait, time out. What did you just say? Go back. I didn't. You said it so fast I couldn't hear.
Did he have a stroke? ¿Eso fue lo que le pasó?
I said The Breakfast Club and the fucking Sweet 16 shit.
What?
Those are not John Hughes movies. I don't like. I don't like them. Are you serious? They're good. I'm telling you the truth. For me, Ferris Bueller is like my all-time favorite movie. I love Ferris. I love Ferris. It's my all-time favorite movie. I've discussed this with my girl all the time. I fucking love that movie. The Breakfast Club was okay for me. I didn't.
You know what it is? I think. Never mind. I'll say this off screen because that's a problematic comment. What I'm gonna say.
Oh.
Spit that shit out, bro. Spit that shit out. We need
Anda.
content. Don't get scared.
I think Nicholas.
We're getting deep.
Nicholas. I was raised in a rough neighborhood. Nicholas was raised in a very rough neighborhood as well. I think at the time in his life, if he came out in his school play yard and said, "Hi guys, I love 16 Candles," they would whoop his ass. they would whoop his ass up and down the block.
You have a point. You have a point. You have a point. But at the same time,
or if you would have said to them like, I like the Breakfast Club, which this whole fucking show is a trope on. Like this, we literally have the fucking title, and you're gonna tell me you don't like that movie. I want to punch you in your face.
It's not that I don't like the movie. It's just I'm not a huge fan of it to be like, yo, John Hughes is rolling in his grave. I don't think he made, like, out of all the movies that I know of John Hughes, the only thing that screams to me is Ferris Bueller. Like, I can't name a fourth movie. 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club. I can't tell you a fourth movie.
Weird Science. Weird Science.
He did
Not
Weird
that
Science?
good. Not that good, but a Weird Science in la otra.
I fucking like Weird Science more than I like
There you go.
fucking 16
There you
Candles.
go. But Weird Science is another John Hughes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he did.
Pretty in Pink.
I mean, Pretty in Pink. Que es el otro
Not a
caso.
big fan of it, bro. Not a big,
That's fine.
I don't think I've ever seen Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, I mean, así que no. It's just not gonna appeal to me.
You know what? I had an older sister, so I had to watch some of these movies. I'm gonna be honest.
A lot of those movies, I remember seeing them because a lot of them used to come out like on TBS and TNT and shit. So I saw a lot of the Breakfast Club like on USA and shit like that. And same thing with Ferris Bueller. I never really got to seeing Pretty in Pink because it was just at that age, nothing about it interested me. And if I think about it now, I haven't seen it. And it just, I like think of like those fucking Netflix movies, or like The Kissing Booth and shit like that. Like, it's not my type of movie. I'm not the demographic for those movies.
Are the National Lampoon's movies John Hughes movies?
No, I don't think so. No.
Producer? No?
Tampoco.
Not at all?
No, you can Google. No son.
No, I don't think so.
Like, no, he was kind of like into the whole teen comedy vibe. No, exactly. Como que rough housing party, que era lo que era National.
Vacation, yo, that shit used to make me laugh my ass off. Yeah. Chevy Chase and all those movies I fucking like. Really but yeah, again, 16 that's Candles, that's not my taste. I didn't like them.
Él dice todo esto mientras yo tengo like a Criterion de Breakfast Club like sitting on my shelf.
The logo of the podcast is right next to your face, and it's called the After School Club.
Bro, again. I'm
gonna name my podcast Miguel's Day Off, and hey, Ferris Bueller.
What a piece of shit piece of movie,
bro. Again,
I'm gonna have the intro me on a fucking float singing Doggish and be like, I fucking hate that movie. I've never seen it before.
Again, I don't hate The Breakfast Club. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just don't think that John Hughes's fucking portfolio of movies make me go, wow. This motherfucker shit on his grave. He's spitting on his grave because he saw the Thor episode.
All right, well, let's get back to the subject. John Hughes was an awesome fucking director, and Party Thor was garbage. Anyway, how
many John Hughes movies are there?
Back to this.
There's not that many.
Back to this episode.
Yeah.
I dug the action or whatever. The fight scenes they were like
very good.
They were very good. There were some scenes that were like, oh, you son of a bitch. You're like literally tugging on my nostalgia cords because you're referencing all these awesome movies. Mm-hmm. The whole Terminator reference worked on me. I'm sorry. The scene where he invades the planet, where he invades Asgard, and Ultron is dumping the robots onto that. I took that as such a reference to Alien Covenant. Did anybody else get that?
No, I did not. You mentioned it después, and it made me think about it a little bit.
I was like, that shit is literally the scene where David is dumping all the fucking aliens onto the planet to destroy them or whatever. I was like, oh, you guys did that. That was awesome. The fight scene between Ultron and
shit.
That's right, bitch. One of your favorite movies. It's directed by him, isn't it?
No. He's written a lot. He didn't direct, but the movies that he's written, there's a shitload.
Yes.
The Home Alones, fucking Baby's Day Out. I like that fucking movie when I saw it. Dennis the Menace, Uncle Buck.
He's written a lot of
He
classics.
did that. The Christmas
Next
Vacation.
time
the
you take a
National Lampoon.
piss, next time
He
you take a
wrote them.
piss on somebody that
shit.
formed your childhood, you might want to think twice. All right.
Yeah, he didn't direct a lot of good shit, but he wrote a lot of good shit.
There you go. Por eso es que yo está hablando from a director standpoint. Yeah.
Like, oh, John Hughes, whatever. Anyway, right? What was I gonna say? Back to the damn episode. Okay, so the fight scenes were really cool. The scenes where they were doing the homages to the other movies, I thought were really cool. That worked on me. The whole thing, like you said, where the Watcher is forced to intervene, even though he doesn't want to, I thought that worked on a couple of levels. Did you guys notice, though, jumping off of the topic, how the Thor episode and I forgot which one it was switched with, though. It is apparent that it was switched.
The one before it, no?
¿De qué había mencionado cuál era? Yo no me acuerdo
So
cuál
I'm
episodio
gonna
era.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly. And I read it on another review. I was like, "Woohoo, validation!" Anyway, the Watcher in the beginning episodes is a background figure, and with each episode that goes on, he becomes more apparent.
Yes.
Or whatever.
I
And
noticed
in, yes, in one of the episodes, you downplaying what I noticed? Is that what you're?
No, the thing is, mira,
He's like, you're a moron. Everybody knows that.
Llegó al punto que I didn't even notice that the Watcher is black. Hasta como que 4 or 5 episodes in. Como era literalmente just the figure.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he was black. Imagínate.
He's black?
So, yeah.
He's a darker shade of.
Oh, definitely he's black.
Of
There's no denying that.
Person. So I was like, I was scrolling through the episodes or whatever. I was like, oh shit, you can totally tell that they switched on one of the episodes because in one of, I believe, like you said, the Party Thor one, he's still a shadow, right?
No, yeah, but
Wasn't Killmonger before that?
It was one of the episodes. It was one of the episodes where basically you can tell he's a shadow, and it's further along. It's further along in the order of the episodes, and in the other ones he's first and forefront or whatever.
Tú cuando le des rewatch a todos los episodios me das.
Yeah. All right. So that was something pretty interesting. The whole thing with the jumping through what we don't know is universes or timelines or whatever, that's pretty cool as well. Every time they fight, the whole scene iconography changes, a little homages. I think there was even a part where Captain America was literally the fucking president. That was cool.
I feel like at this point in time, it has to be multiverses. Like it can't be time for me. Timelines don't make sense.
Why does it not make sense? Okay, so let's get into this thing. This is the whole big ass debacle we had in the chat.
Yes, go.
Is it alternate universes? And I love this because I had mentioned this a long time ago on another podcast. I think it was the movie guy, and you guys fucking careened me on everybody.
I did it because I don't know any of that shit.
I don't know. Everybody was like, you fucking imbecile. I was like, is it alternate timelines or alternate universes? Because
I think it has to be alternate universe because the Watcher says he's watching the multiverse. Like that's his whole spiel. It's the multi. Yeah. He never says alternate timelines.
But
he
then what the fuck is the deal with the stones? They're not supposed to work. They're not supposed to work in other universes.
I mean, in the MCU, that bit of information only came out in the TVA. Like it might be one thing in the comic books.
But that's the thing. I don't even think they inferred that in the TVA. The TVA, what they inferred that it doesn't work in the TVA because no magic works in the TVA.
So that's what I'm saying.
If you're heavy into the comics, that's kind of bullshit too because the stones aren't magic. They're like years and years and years of concentrated fucking energy or whatever.
The TVA, there's gonna be plot holes because if you go by no magic, then like Loki should be tall and blue because he uses he's originally from whatever the fucking giant. But that's how he should look during the whole series of the TVA. That's how he should look. So we can nitpick about it, but realistically, when have they said that the stones don't work out of their universe?
Nowhere.
So that's what I'm saying. Then
I mean, in the comics, but in the series, I don't think they think. What I don't understand is, okay, the way it was explained to me is that the multiverse or everything they've shown is timelines. It's not alternate universe, it's timelines. A decision that you make and alter, that's literally what If was about. That's what Loki was about. A decision that you make leads to a branching timeline.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. It creates a branch within that timeline, but that's caused because at that point in time there was only supposed to be one universe. Isn't that what it was? Isn't the one who remains or whatever because his death? Then the other universes were free. The other Kangs were be able to unleash whatever they did in their own universe. I feel like the TVA protected the timelines because we had that one strip, that one universe. Everything was in that one universe. So you had timelines because the ancient one was like, oh, if you do this, you break the timeline. But what
Yeah.
he was saying is that him and the other Kangs united because all of the universes, they had the big war and it all got
That was
consolidated
related to
into one.
time. That's related to. I don't think that's related to universe. I think that's still related to time.
I-
All the
but-
timeline. It's a timeline battle. I don't think it was a multi
I think
universal
we
battle.
would have to watch that last episode again. But I think that's what he said. That they found doors to go into other universes, and that's when they made all the Kangs, and all of them like got together and discussed what was better for the universe and all this shit.
The whole thing to me, I think the whole theme of the episode, the whole theme of everything is like, I still think it's time. I don't think it's like multi-universal shit. I think if the way that what you're talking about, and I told you the whole thing about the trees and the branches, like it made sense. Like there's so many variations of time that now that they're bleeding into other universes. Like the way that trees, the whole metaphor of like a tree is a universe and the branches are timelines, but like if the branches keep growing and growing, they're gonna touch the other tree, or something like that. That's what I thought was explained in the whole Loki thing. And to me, it made sense as to why, if the multiverse, the whole battle thing, why the stones would still work, because you're not branching off into another universe, you're branching off into another timeline. Those stones still belong. It's the whole thing that they explained. I hope we're not
In
going
Endgame.
in Endgame, where if you take the stone out of this timeline, you get a branching time. You don't get another universe. You get another timeline.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
and the stone still works. The stones still work within that variation or whatever. So I don't know what they're gonna rip out their ass, but the whole stone's working in another and that whole fight, like, to me, it broke the rules. But again, like I said, it's the MCU. They could like have their own rules.
But that's the thing. That rule was never set in the MCU. Like in the universe that they've created, all live action and now this fucking animation, they've never not once said that. That's
But it's so
something that we're taking
confusing
off
que
comics.
existe diferentes entonces stones. That's the thing. Porque existen diferentes stones. If it was just the one stone in, ¿verdad? The one, como que pues, the Mind Stone, whatever. There's only one, and Vision got the one. Y cuando va diferente multiverses, there's still one because he's the one who got the. Es que it's confusing porque
I
cuando
get what you're saying, because Thanos also popped out with a glove and it had stones in it.
También es que demasiado confuso porque, okay, fine. Again, this is not fair porque, verdad, they haven't established what the rules are regarding the stones and whatever. But in mismo TVA, they had a bunch of different Mind Stones. They had a bunch of different reality stones, whatever, the red ones, qué sé yo. So that implies to me que hay diferentes multiverses o whatever, que hay diferentes stones para cada uno. Lo pienso con la lógica de, I don't know if you guys saw Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, what they said was que when they went and visited the other universes, cada universe had their own separate Dragon Balls, que they only function en el universo. And that to circumvent that, they had these stupid enough super Dragon Balls que literally funcionan en todos los universos, si no me equivoco, and those are the ones that you can use que can span across universes. But they haven't said that. Aquí a mi entender es que en Earth 1 or Earth MCU, they got those stones, and then when he finished with Earth 1 universe, whatever, él se abugió, entonces empezó a irse a otro sitio. But por eso en mi cabeza, it shouldn't work, porque just by sheer logic, si hay un stone que es diferente al que tú tienes ahí, pues dice, this one shouldn't work. It should be the one que está al otro lado, like en ese universo, ese multiverso que se metió ahí. Just by that logic alone, like yo estoy dismissing todas las otras películas, my assumption would be que it shouldn't work. Maybe they'll probably have to explain that, seguro. Entiendo que las piedras funcionan en cada timeline y universo multiverso. Y el TVA no funciona porque está. No, I understand. I got that. Yo sé, el TVA es como un limbo. Fine, I got that. Pero si están diciéndome que hay diferentes stones, that implies que they've captured it from diferentes multiverses. And that must mean que those have to work en ese. Porque si no, the clever thing que haría Vision, okay, pues, how do I get more powerful? I literally start plucking all the stones from every multiverse and I'll get infinitely more powerful porque I'll have like 7 reality stones y 6 mind stones y cuando tiene my mind stone beam será como
Yeah,
que
like
the size of a
fucking-
Death Star beam.
A fucking rhinestone dress on, like this.
Like literal, va a tener una ropita
An
completa.
ugly
Just a bunch
sweater.
of stones, like that. If I know que stones funcionan en todos los multiverses, I'd just be plucking every stone y estaría matando cada Thanos que yo vea en cada multiverse. Hasta que tengo todos los fucking stones de todos los multiverses and I will literally be unstoppable. Like, why stop at just my 6 stones? I can have so much more. No sé. It's
Then again, like you know, we're debating this shit, and you know, Ultron literally killed like one of, like.
Oh, you want to get to that one?
Yeah, I was telling Nick, I was like, Nick, this what if season should have been called "What If Thanos Was a Bitch," because like, because literally they took one of their biggest villains and they made him like in the Black Panther episode. I mean, you know, he was literally talked out of being this nihilistic emperor of the universe.
Yeah.
He was a zombie. He was sliced in half like a Christmas ham on the episode of Ultron. Like, you took one of your like most badass villains, and he's just like he's a story piece. Yeah, whatever. And
it also goes back to what I said. It's the whole dilution that es diluting momentos icónicos y momentos significativos que we've lived through for 10 years. Because it started with the stone thing. When I saw like the stones como si fueran paperweights, I cringed so I like Loki. I cringed so hard. Y yo dije, wow. So después que tú me diste esta jornada, and I'm one of the people that don't like Marvel, but I will defend Infinity War and Endgame because of Thanos' arc. So cuando tú me das todo este arco y me das este thread que es tan poderoso, and it makes sense to why he's so fucking powerful, to then 2 years later decirme que these stones are fucking paperweight and all of that thing you had was fucking insignificant, and then have Thanos, the big bad, que era lo único que quedaba aquí, porque fine, you can dismiss stones because they're objects, but to dismiss the character and to dilute the character a básicamente convertirse un fucking chiste, it's like a slap in the face to the journey you gave me for 10 stupid years. Like, ¿para qué entonces? Why do I have to invest? ¿Para qué voy a invest en el nuevo personaje que tenemos en el que salió en Loki? I forgot his fucking name. Kang. Why invest in Kang? And I love Jonathan Mayers. Why invest in Tang? Why invest in Tang? Si sabe Dios, de ahí a 5 años después que salga Tang y salga después Galactus or whatever, you're gonna dilute me Tang because you need to set up the other baddie. Like,
I mean,
why?
that's been happening. That's been happening to us for years. Is that not every season of Dragon Ball?
Oh, for sure. Pero
every season,
okay.
We got a limit.
True.
We can't get more powerful than this. There's no more. Frieza's the ultimate, and then all of a sudden,
but that's not what's happening in Marvel. It's not being diluted, pero no está siendo diluted because people have become more powerful. Yo entiendo el thought process de por qué Dragon Ball hace eso. Incluso Dragon Ball entonces después rectified, at least with Frieza, he put him up to par. Y también Super 17, they put him up to another level because it was about the growth of all these characters a través de todo este tiempo cuando las cosas se pusieron bien absurdas. Claro, Ultra Instinct es otra mierda, we're not even going to talk about that. Pero entonces, volviendo a esto, aquí no hay una evolución natural de todos estos personajes que became so powerful que they could just defeat Thanos. We're using what if storylines to fucking poner Thanos no un pedestal, pero por lo menos de este very powerful threat que existía to just a stupid idiot.
And then the problem I kind of have with that is that we wanted this, or we heard that this might be canon.
That is also true.
So,
and that is fine porque son what ifs, pero
I don't know how I feel about that now.
Yo entiendo la idea de que esto es un what if y que tú pases lo que te la gana con tus personajes, pero distinctly, if you realize, Thanos en todos los episodios que él sale, it's like Mick said, he's been treated like a bitch. ¿Dónde está por lo menos one episode where Thanos is kind of cool y está haciendo algo cool? No, we have to like dismiss him and get Ultron to be the cool one, which cool porque entonces you rectify the shitty movie that he was in, but still, like, como que you built up this character, this very interesting character, y lo que hiciste con Loki, you're doing with Thanos, where you're diluting lo que son estos personajes. Entonces, por lo menos en Loki, you had a character arc, so fine, I can justify that. Pero con Thanos, what the fuck do I have? You just brought this interesting character, morally questionable character, que tú hasta como audiencia estás diciendo, you know, maybe Thanos has a fucking point, and then now he's just sliced like fucking Christmas ham.
I think it's their way of like trying to throw their dick on the table and be like, oh, you thought that you'd seen like crazy ass, you know, power, but look at this, man. It's just like
I think it was done for that reason. I think it was done to legitimize
Ultron, like how powerful
Ultron as a real threat. Like,
With
okay,
one
we've
Mind
seen
Stone
Vision, we've
versus
seen
5
Ultron.
little rocks.
Like, I think it was done for that reason, to legitimize him as a threat. Be like, look how fast he got rid of Thanos. What can stop?
It's shitty storytelling.
How are we
It's
gonna
shitty
stop?
storytelling. It's shitty storytelling. Porque como carajo tú vas a tener you have rules, and even in this universe, hasta ese punto, they have rules. Esto no, o sea, no me enseñaron que el power level de este Vision was any different from any other Vision. It's just that this Vision won. Pero con una piedrita, ¿cómo carajo tú le vas a ganar a las 5 piedritas? Like, al momento que he was going to throw that beam, he should have stopped. He should have stopped el beam with a fucking reality stone or whatever. The time stone.
Doesn't it also negate the last scene in Infinity War?
¿Cuál era
Where he's on his knees? Is it their scene where he's like fighting?
Right, yeah. Someone did the comparison de que he could have done exactly the same fucking thing.
Is it their scene?
Pero el argumento fue que Vision en la película, he was weakened. Which, fine, I guess, pero even, o sea, it's a thing about power levels. Like, I need a scouter, or I need like las tarjetitas esas de high school que teníamos de Dragon Ball, que tenía los power levels en el lado, ¿verdad? Las tarjetitas.
Not quite over 9,000.
Exacto. Es como que you need to show me power levels. You can't show me por 10 años que Vision can only do so much y Thanos is this big baddie to then be sliced like Christmas ham cuando él sale, cuando ya tú me estableciste que si el cabrón tiene 4 o 5 piedritas, he should be able to, like, al instante que ese beam iba a parar, it stops time, él camina por el ladito, le da un puño al Vision y se acaba el episodio.
So here's the number one argument that Disney will give you that will negate all of our reasoning. Check it out.
Dale,
check it out. Are you ready?
Tíralo.
And look at the excuse right there. It's right next to Nick. It's right next to Nick.
It's for kids.
Like, that will always be the kryptonite to all our arguments.
But it
You're
doesn't
a bunch
need
of
to be.
30-year-old. You're a bunch of 30. We're a bunch of 33-year-old males buscando la lógica a fictional characters.
Pero tú sabes que the thing is que you should have good writing. Good writing doesn't have to be negated by the fact that it's for kids. Because we have
Nicholas. Ask your daughter. I can't tell them apart. That's Khaleesi?
It's Khaleesi.
Yes.
Ask Khaleesi, how do you feel about good writing?
Khaleesi. What's your favorite movie, baby?
Oh, she has an opinion.
Adam's Family 2.
The Chimbi? That's your favorite thing? Chimbi? Okay. Thank you, baby.
What's Chimbi?
Her favorite movie is this Netflix anime about a little ghost that pops out of a watch.
That's kind of cool. I'd watch that.
Exactly. So,
okay.
Did she just say she was gonna whoop my ass?
Yeah, she said it's not funny. Don't make me whoop your ass. There you go.
That sounds like Dad's Academy Award-winning writing.
There you go.
Reflected in his children.
Just molding them like clay.
Exactly. I'm waiting for the moment that their teacher says, "I don't appreciate what you said, Khaleesi." She goes, "Well, I'm gonna whoop your ass."
Yeah, like, well, I don't give a fuck. You get paid by tax money, bitch. Go back to work. That's what she goes.
Oh wow, son, you're gonna regret the day. You're gonna regret the day she repeats that verbatim to her teacher.
It's not today, but one day.
One day, exactly. Anyway,
yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, like, as much as we want to rip it apart because we're fans of the original source material, shit, I should have said the same thing for Venom. the catch-22 is like, dude, it's for children. Like, at the end of the day, that's what's crazy to us, to like the preteens or the teens, they don't give a shit about this. They're like, oh my god, he just ripped them in half like a fucking
badass.
like a sandwich. Whoa,
And
with a
remember,
laser.
as this goes on, a new generation is gonna see this shit. So it's gonna be fresh to a lot of these people.
Man,
Like my
can you
girls,
imagine
they're
that?
not at that point yet. Like the girls, they're not at the point yet to see what if. It doesn't interest them and shit.
Is that gonna be our battle? Is that gonna be our battle?
What is?
Is that not always the battle?
Is that gonna be our battle? Like when they're in their 30s and they're like, God, hope we get that far, but like if they're in their 30s and they're like, Dad, I went to a theater and I saw, I don't know, this freaking tree monster fight against Iron Lad, and you're like, let me tell you about a guy called Thanos, and they're like, what? The tree guy would have fucking tore Thanos in half with his branches and his tentacles,
is that not always the battle? Is that like I remember?
I haven't seen that with anybody yet. Like
no, not like that. Not like that. I've seen that with actors and shit, and more down the line. At least in my house, with how my father is, it's more down when it comes to like action stars. Like, oh, Bruce Lee in my time would have fucked Jason Statham up. In my house, when it comes to action stars.
Man, you really when that movie came out, when Hollywood Stories came out, you really laid into him, didn't you?
I didn't see Hollywood Story. That you saw that? I haven't seen it.
Wait, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking about that show that you was talking about. No. Clichés or something on Netflix.
Oh, we can touch that before the episode ends. Go ahead.
I haven't seen anything about that. I haven't
seen it about it, but yeah.
We'll talk about it before the episode ends. But
I mean, I wouldn't have able to have that conversation with him because he didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So
okay.
All right.
He probably get very upset.
You probably make him cry.
My father, I've literally gotten my father pissed off when I've told him things like, yo, I bet you if Bruce Lee was in the UFC, he would have got his ass whooped because you never seen him take a punch in real life. I'm like, all you've seen him is in movies. Like anybody could fight in movies. Keanu Reeves in The Matrix looked like he could fuck anybody up in the street in that first movie. If you see him in John Wick, you'd be like, this nigga got the skills.
Tell him the story about Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Zito.
I don't know that story.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is?
Of course.
He got into a fight with a Hells Angels motorcyclist that does security. It's just like broke his nose and everything. And the dude, there were no flying. He apparently, the rumor says, he tried a sidekick and got fucking body slammed.
Because that shit don't work. No,
he heard the Kumite music in his head. He went for a flying kick and it turned horribly. It went bad for him. Like,
bro, because 99
out of 100 cocaine times, for a week.
Bro, 99 out of 100 times, those fucking moves don't work in real life. That's the movie, nigga. What's that movie? The Raid?
Yeah.
If the guy from The Raid actually went into a house with a bunch of criminals, he would have got his ass whooped in the first floor. He would have never got up.
That's true.
That argument, all the time.
I'm pretty sure there was somebody ballsy that went into a caserío and tried that shit, and we don't know their story yet. We don't know
because he's fucking dead, 6 feet underground. That's their story.
The Chuck Norrises, the fucking God forbid I say something about Steven Seagal. God forbid I say something about this fucking guy. He fucking loves Steven Seagal, bro.
Wow. Even fat Steven Seagal.
Tell him Miguel said
Steven Seagal's B movies now.
Tell him Miguel said Steven Seagal has and always will run like a bitch. Like
exacto.
Bro, he's still a fan. We have that argument all the time. I'm guessing when my girls are older, when Alex is older, when Jacob is older, we're gonna have similar conversations about this character versus this character, this time versus this time.
That's just an action star that we would really go to the wall for. I'm not
action star. No, I don't.
Yeah,
para mí action stars están medio. It's cool, pero
like a martial artist.
That's rare.
¿Tú
tienes uno? ¿Tú tienes uno right now? Shang-Chi, el único que existe parece. There's never been.
Let me tell you about Simu Liu.
But that's not ours though.
If Aquafina got into a fight with,
but that's not. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about these timelines. I feel like mine was like Jet Li.
Jet Li, Jackie
Chan,
for sure.
Like my guy, we're talking about the 70s.
That's funny because that's very peculiar because we were alive during a huge crossover moment. Like he shouldn't technically even be our action star or whatever. Like,
but that
Jackie Chan shouldn't be our action star. Like,
but wasn't
Jackie Chan and Jet Li? Jackie Chan, the crossover was, but he was making film way before that.
Yeah, but
he should technically be our parents' action stars, but they were never exposed to his movies at the time where he
was still young enough. But like when the one came out, Romeo Must Die came out. That was like,
oh my god,
where the fuck was it? Was that?
Have you watched that movie lately?
No, I haven't watched it lately.
Oh, cringy as fuck.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people, a lot of these stars. At least I remember them watching them as a kid. I remember Jackie Chan as a kid. I remember Jackie Chan had a fucking cartoon for us.
Yeah.
Like he's ours, bro. Jackie Chan is ours, bro.
It's okay. So one last thing I'm gonna say with this whole argument or whatever, since we got way off thing or whatever. We won't have this argument with our kids. You know why? Because when they reanimate this guy's dead corpse on a CGI projection and they bring Tony Stark back after 20 years.
God, I can't wait.
We won't have that argument because their Tony Stark will be our Tony Stark. We're
gonna see how deep fake is gonna fucking impact all of this.
Oh yeah. For sure.
They're gonna project his face onto a 16-year-old and they're gonna tell the story all over again.
Yep.
Iron Lad, bro.
That's true.
All right, so yeah, let's get into the next topic, the last topic of the day. Is it the last topic of the day? Shit. We got two topics. This topic should be fast. I mean, I don't know if Orengo knows about it, but I've been interested because of how passionate Miguel has sounded talking about.
Okay. All right.
So
let me sell you. Go ahead. Let me sell you on the first 3 episodes because
God damn.
What?
All you watched was the first 3 episodes. All that shit you told me. Oh
no, I've watched more. But the way the way they introduce you to these people is heavy as shit. Like for my mom, Charles Bronson, very true. Oh my god, my grandfather Charles Bronson was like, that was his idol.
My father loved Charles Bronson, the fucking Death Wish. What's the other name?
I got into an argument with my dad about the movie with Bruce Willis. Wasn't it Death Wish?
Death Wish, the remake.
Death Wish, yeah.
Yes, I was like, this movie was great, and he was like, that movie was garbage.
Yeah,
he was like, fuck Bruce Willis, and he took it so personal that they took a movie from his era and remade it, and it was to him, it was just blasphemous. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Wow, that's gonna happen to us. Watch. Wait till they start remaking fucking. I mean, they're already starting to remake shit that came out when we was a kid.
I was just laughing. I was just like, all respects to my pops. I was like, bro, you're like a Hibaro from Utuado when this movie came out. He's like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? We had VHS. I was like, calm the fuck down. Like, really? Anyways, okay. Doom Patrol. I feel this series, when it debuted, it got the shaft hard.
Yes, because it was in DC Universe app.
DC Universe app, and I believe it was around the same time as Umbrella Academy
and Titans.
Right?
So it didn't, como que la gente no estaba sold on Titans, so por ende ven algo even more obscure than Titans, and they're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because acuérdate que it spun off from Titans.
Yes. But I feel like it also got fucked over with the whole, like, this is another group of like teen-ish characters that are like have a whole bunch of issues. It felt like
did
pretty
this
close
come out? Was Runaways out when this came out?
Probably.
Sí.
Yeah.
So
the thing that screwed him over, the thing that screwed him over was que estaba el DC Universe app. Eso era la cosa que literally screwed.
That's blasphemy right there.
Chiquitín Deku es mejor que Goku. Wow, that's a
choice. No. My kids know better than that. No, they can't say that.
Deku's cool, but come on, let's not shit on Goku now. Stop it.
Bro. You know what the funny thing is? Goku does have a lot of crybaby moments too, in the Dragon Ball. In the original Dragon Ball,
No,
Ah,
pero es
Dragon
original
Ball.
Dragon Ball, pa. Ya después creció, he became a big boy. Y después hizo un train stick now, donde, papi, Deku se queda explotado en 3 pedazos. Sí, se va contra Goku.
Oh no, oh
No,
no.
pa, no, pa.
I still haven't seen a quirk that can split a planet in half. So when we get there.
Thank you.
Anyways, so about the series.
Yes.
I feel like it suffered from the moment it came out because I feel like the market was a little bit saturated with the themes about the show. But holy shit, this series is a fucking acid trip and a half. I was telling Nicholas, I did not expect that in the first 3 episodes you were gonna show me a whole bunch of backstory of these characters that the whole raunchiness and like hardcore vibe fits so much more better with these guys than it does with with Titans. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like this, the theme and the adult themes in this one do not feel forced as much as they do with Titans. It feels more natural. But my God, some of these characters are fucking ridiculously funny and very, very fucking cool.
¿Cuánto te has visto del show?
I've seen about 5 episodes of the first season. 4 or 5
Oh my God,
episodes.
wait. I am the only one que ha visto los primeros 2 seasons ya.
No,
I didn't even know
really?
that you've seen anything. I haven't seen that one episode. All I saw was
You
what
haven't
they
seen it?
had in season
Okay,
9.
let me tell you about a...
Wait. Time out.
About-
Before you shit on it. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a moment. Because from my opening from the first season,
Okay.
I really enjoyed. My favorite character right now is the fuck. I'm gonna
Spanish
blank on
chick?
her name. Yes, her name is not Crazy Carol. That's
Crazy
actually,
Jane.
Crazy Jane. Crazy Carol is actually a coworker. We call her Crazy Carol.
I hope she's not watching this shit right now.
She knows. Love you,
That she's
Carol.
crazy?
Yeah, she knows she's fucking borderline bipolar anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Crazy Jane. Her character is so fucking hilarious to me. I'm sorry. The burst of outrage when she turns into Hammerhead and the power where she can literally like use her words as weapons.
Yeah.
That shit to me was funny as fuck.
Mhm.
The robot character I like. God, I'm blanking on his name too. God damn it, the actor.
Diablo, sí.
Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. I like his story, but I also like the way he portrays like this, kind of person struggling with like he's not. We've seen this story before. He's more machine than man now, and he just has to learn to let go of his past or whatever he's trying to fix. I think what I understood from the episodes I saw, he's trying to kind of make up for being the shitty human being he was by being a better person, I guess, to these other people.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Is he
like-
full machine? I'm just asking this because of what you had told me earlier. But as a machine, can he have sex or does he not have a dick?
So where I have seen, I believe he's full machine.
Full machine.
Full
He
machine.
was throwing dick left and right when he was.
In the beginning when he was a human, they're like literally showing you like
he's going
they're looking
insane.
for him in the they're looking for him in the house, and his wife is like, God damn it, why can't I find this guy? Now where's the maid too? Where's the maid? And he's banging the shit out of the maid, bro. He's like one scene short of doing cocaine off her ass. Like
Yep.
he's like one scene short of that. He's one scene short of that. And then they show another scene where he's basically banging this chick on it. Like, dude, I was like, wow, Brendan Fraser was literally like, remember George of the Jungle? Fuck that movie. Remember The Mummy? Fuck your memories of me as a fucking pretty boy, nice guy. No, we're all about slinging dick in the show. Misogynistic ass, just slinging debaucherous sex. All right, anyways. What I did not expect was in the 3rd episode, or the 2nd episode, basically to be about just fucking like another universe within a fucking goat. Like, what the fuck? The town got sucked up by a black hole, and the way to get the town back was in through the mouth of a goat.
Yes. Yes.
But this is all the first 3 episodes.
This is the first 3 episodes.
Yes.
Three.
Christ, what the fuck?
We were then introduced to a villain which breaks the 4th wall and acknowledges that you are watching a fucking TV show. He is talking directly to the people watching the episode.
Yep.
And refers to himself as the narrator because he is technically the narrator of the first 4 episodes of the show.
Yes.
I was like, this show is on another level of LSD crackdom. Why the fuck did I not see this shit?
That shit sounds, and it's funny, getting into things late. You say that, and that shit makes me think of Rick from fucking Rick and Morty. Like, he be on the episodes to be like, Summer, you're fucking ruining season 4 premiere. Bitch, get out of here. Like, he be saying shit like that.
I saw an episode the other day that the first thing I did was text Sorengo. I was like, I literally choked on my fucking cookies and cream ice cream because he said he referred to a character. He said, "Don't you fucking try to establish canonical backstory with me, bitch." I could not stop. That line made me laugh so fucking hard. Like, I literally had to pause the episode because it was so self-referential. Like, it just doesn't give a shit about like what you think, you know, the order of a story should be, or what the guidelines should be of like keeping this story coherent. Like,
they did some shit. They did some shit. I was watching and it didn't work. Morty, like, it didn't work. He was like, fuck it. South Park did that shit like 4 seasons ago. I was laughing my ass. There's parts of that show that make me like.
Wait. Save the Rick and Morty because I want to talk to you about it. Save it for not another episode. Right after this, we'll get into that.
Okay.
So I feel so in the first 4 episodes alone, Orengo, I like these fucking characters way more than I've ever liked any of the characters in Titans. And I'm sympathetic towards them. Like, I feel things for them. Man, you're gonna really fuck this up for me, aren't you? Fuck.
Okay,
Like, I really like them. Like, I'm really starting to feel stuff for them. Again, only 4 to 5 episodes in.
Okay.
Let me tell you a story.
I'm dying to hear this. I'm dying to hear this.
He's gonna basically make me delete the HBO Max app.
Let me tell you a story about a little show called Doom Patrol and how that's basically the best stupid DC show ever. Full stop.
Okay, nice.
Me he visto el de Superman and Lois. Me falta ver ese. Pero
Garbage.
Fine. Perfect.
Nick likes it. I'm just saying it because Nick's like. I'm just saying it because Nick likes it.
He's just an
In terms
asshole.
of writing, character development, storylines, how bonkers it gets. This show does not deserve to be as good as it is.
Thank you, God.
Yet it is ridiculously amazing. Y si tú crees que a universe inside of a goat's mouth is crazy, boy, have you not seen anything yet? Porque
Awesome.
es que
I'm fucking fully down
it's
for this
because
ride.
of the comic. Porque yo me di cuenta, yo veo con Fabiola, porque estábamos hookeados con Titans, and one of the shows that we really enjoyed in first season era cuando they introduced the Doom Patrol. We're like, oh, they're making a spin-off of this. Is really interesting, cool. When we start watching Doom Patrol, we're like, this is so fucking bonkers. They're recasting the guy. We were like a little upset about it, but we understood because that guy's really good at his role.
Yeah.
We were seeing, pero porque, how can they possibly be such bonker episodes and such bonker premises? Cuando vemos, because we don't know anything about Doom. Who the fuck knows anything about Doom Patrol?
I tried reading the comics and they're rough.
Cuando leemos un poquito de lo que son los cómics y la gente envuelta como fucking Grant Morrison, que has been known to be fucking abstract as shit, ahí nos dimos cuenta. They're so fucking clever because they know how to adapt the fucking craziness that is Doom Patrol, the comic book run. Especialmente todas las cosas bonkers que tira Grant Morrison. Yo digo bonkers, pero honestamente, within the crazy shit of like on a universe inside a GOAT, tienes 3 escenas of character development of how Robot Man has to fucking deal with the fact that he's a fucking robot y tiene que lidiar with the fact that he's first never gonna fuck again, pero más beyond that, on a deeper level, he abandoned his family and he was a shit father. And I know you haven't gotten to that, but he's a shit father.
Oh, they showed it.
Okay,
I think they alluded to it because I think he was supposed to be at one of her birthdays.
Excelente,
and he was in a fucking bus banging the shit and doing drugs.
Exacto. And that shit is the shit that's gonna come back to haunt him as a character. That's just one of them.
Oh, fucking love this shit. All right, I'm already like,
mira, like, okay, you have
fuck your happy stories, goddammit.
You haven't got into the street. ¿Cómo era the Doom Patrol street name? That the street name Danny or that Danny the Street. I know you haven't got into that. The metaphor of Danny the Street. Yes, there's a street that has consciousness and is an actual being, but it just so happens to be a street. Within that street is basically, it's a little bit of a spoiler. They have a bunch of outcasts. That is also alluded as a metaphor for not just outcasts in the real world, but basically queer folk. And Danny the Street is also part of the LGBT community, and the way they introduce that in the show is clever as shit. Where you might think it's woke or it feels woke, bicho. Yo era primero, o sea, que soy primero en criticar anything that seems woke. The way they weave all these elements together, especially with Danny the Street, and how Danny is a metaphor for these outliers of society, and how even today there's some elements of representation and some elements of how we treat queer folk, especially este show salió hace par de años atrás, so it is kind of fair, como lo discuten, how these queer folk are relegated in society and how it's addressed within the boundaries of what Danny the Street is as a metaphor and as a character. Te muere el fucking bicho, and it's so fucking clever. It's so well done. Que yo estaba con Fabiola cada fucking episodio de Season 1 fucking mente volaba. Season 2 has one fucking problem, and it's the fact that they had to end the season early. Y no me acuerdo por qué fue. No sé si fue
because of the transition, or because of the transition of the app to HBO, and they bought the rights.
Pues eso mismo fue. It was because of something que entonces the way that the season 2 ends is very truncated, and we really didn't like it, but we understood why it happened. Por lo que tengo entendido, season 3 takes place instantaneously after season 2 y rápidamente addresses what was supposed to be el finale de season 2 proper, y después continúa con su narrativa de character development. Lo que es Crazy Jane. Crazy Jane's character arc es una cosa cabrona. The way they handle
64 motherfucking...
and you're going to eventually see all of them.
Oh my
and
God.
The way they address her as basically a metaphor for mental health issues. Otro nivel. Es una cosa que está súper bien lograda. The character, the Negative Man, que este cabrón, Alan Turk.
Yes.
De los mejores performances que este tipo ha hecho, porque él existe and they let him be who he is, and all the best aspects of him as a character actor, which he is, puñeta, explotado los quintos niveles en este fucking show.
Quick question. The essence that he has inside of him,
yes,
is that his love? Oh, I don't want to ruin it. is that related to the person that he loved?
You have to see the show.
Oh, fuck! All right.
Hasta Cyborg, que no es
That's
mi
what I was
Cyborg
telling
favorito.
Mick. That's what I was telling
Holy
Mick.
shit, this Cyborg.
I was like, Mick, the way they introduced him, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it feels low budget the way visually he looks.
Es lo único que
It's low budget,
Yes.
but it fucking works.
Yes.
Because
in season 2, cuando they develop more of his character and his relationship to his dad.
What if I told you in the episodes I saw Cyborg, he felt more Cyborg than the Snyderverse Cyborg?
Yo lo que perdono es que cuando tú ves el Snyder Cut, I understand that interpretation. Pero obviamente this one, since it has more time to breathe, I really do like him. And I will say this, as much as I like Cyborg, I feel within the Doom Patrol, he's the weakest part. But the weakest part of a good thing is still a good thing. Pero comparado a Cyborg, que es bastante streamlined, because you know in the comics cómo es su development con su padre, su development as a character, so you kind of know about it. Pero not knowing much about Crazy Jane, Robot Man, Invisible Man, ¿cómo se llama él? No era Invisible Man. Fuck, he has another name. No era Invisible Man. Yo tengo los nombres ahí. Negative Man, Crazy Jane, Robot Man, Elastigirl. Diablo. La trama de Elastigirl. Es que, I love the show so much. It's tan underrated because la gente piensa either Doom Patrol, I don't give a fuck. O si lo ven, están diciendo this looks so fucking weird and bonkers que no va a dar el break. Pero it's just a way to tell the story they really want to tell, which is todo estos fucked up people who just want to have a little space where they feel human again. Y esa es como que la esencia del show. Everyone just wants to feel some semblance of normalcy because they're all so fucking weird. Entonces tiene que ser extremo. Es como que Crazy J, 64 personalities. Robot Man literally doesn't have a dick and he's fucking robot. Negative Man, literally, he doesn't have a body. He's just an essence. Y entonces tiene, pues, Cyborg is the most normal because he still has a little bit of a human aspect to it. Pero es como todos ellos just yearn for normalcy. And they don't have it because of who they are.
Orengo, let me ask you a question though. The vibe I got from the first episodes I saw was like they're portraying them as not villains, but they're not portraying them as people who want to be heroes either.
See, they're very reluctant heroes. Super reluctant.
Like they show a lot of their flaws because even with the Elastigirl episode, they showed basically how she's still attached to this like conceit like she's still conceited
Sí.
about what her status was when she was a star. So like there was this little interesting dialogue between her and this chick at like a diner, and it made me laugh because I was like, that's very interesting the way they just did that, because the girl's literally pouring her heart out about herself and what that actor meant to her and her dad, and all she heard was, no, tell me more about what you thought about the actress. Like,
Exacto.
I was like, that is very fucking smart. Like that little 5 minutes me dio tanto entender de ella y la mentalidad de ella como tal. Still, after everything she's been through, I was just like, that's how I'm watching the show, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, I think they got shafted hard, because there's a lot of elements of the show that I feel are really smart, and if it's only the first 5 episodes, if it doesn't fucking derail, I'm like, why aren't more people talking about this shit?
That's what happens when you have really good shows, man. Lo que pasa es que la premisa es tan bonkers y tan weird. Lo único que holds it together es, creo que la fe de HBO. Porque darle el tercer season, te juro que eso fue por fe. They were just like, we know we have a really good show that literally no one's watching. Pero hay algún producer somewhere being like, I really like this shit. I want to keep pouring money into this. Porque es que no one watches this. No one talks about this show. And it's really fucking good.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be transparent. I used to watch the forums, and people, or like the chats or the comments, every time somebody posted a video of, I can't even fucking remember the name though. That's fantastic. Of Umbrella Academy. People would always post, oh, they're good, but Doom Patrol is better.
Yep.
And I would always be like, man, I really like fucking Umbrella Academy. Oh my God. Umbrella Academy looks like child's play next to this shit. Like the characters seem so like they're written a little bit shallower than these characters. You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, I look back now and I'm like, their problems don't seem that bad compared to like these fucking like, you know,
because they have una buena base que son los cómics, and the adaptation process was really good. Porque cuando yo vi la parte de Danny the Street, es un fucking embuste, esto existe. O sea, esto es algo que se inventaron los writers because they're so fucking crazy que esto se lo inventaron. When I went back and I'm like, oh my God, Grant Morrison wrote a fucking story about a Danny the Street and outcast people, and I think there were actually queer folk también dentro de Danny the Street. Lo que pasa es que pues, it was back in the 80s, so era tan wow. But it was mostly about outcast people. It was like a metaphor for being an outcast. A través de la industria, yo dije, wow, es que no. They just have something really good here, and they knew how to adapt that shit, no matter how bonkers it sounded.
Let me ask you a question, and don't spoil it, but is Mr. Nobody a 1-season issue, or is he gonna be...
It's a really good 1-season issue.
Okay.
Really good, though. Really good. You're gonna enjoy the shit out of Mr. Nobody. But it's just for 1 season.
Dude, they blew my fucking mind when he referenced, like, we broke the fourth wall. I was like, oh, you're gonna fucking do that? So I was like, okay, all right, I see where we're going with this shit. I was like, I'm down for this.
Sí. No, it's really good. De verdad que dale el break.
2 recommendations, bro. Get on that shit.
No, really, it's really good.
What's the two? The fucking Doom Patrol?
Yes.
I gotta finish Rick and Morty because I'm already emotionally invested in that shit.
No, go nuts.
I'm almost at the end of season 4.
Nice.
All right. Do you wanna talk about Rick and Morty now before you jump into the next topic and the topic I want to talk about, or?
Oh God. What
is it? The topic you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about Attack of the whatever cinema tropes, whatever the fuck it's called. It's quick. You guys haven't watched it because I just want to make a comment about it.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a comment about it.
All right. So this show is I fucking like literally. I think I'm not even done with it yet, or I'm not sure if it's like it's a one-off. It's a movie, right?
It's a little movie. It's a 15-minute movie.
Yeah. I fucking adored the way they broke it down. It was very informative to me because I didn't study film, so some of the stuff they talk about, I'm like, which was funny because Orengo mentioned not too long ago. We were joking around with him because of the way it sounds, the whole magical Negro trope.
Yeah.
Which
they talk about it?
I'm still they talk about it. They talk about it in a very spicy way, which I was like, oh shit! Now I feel guilty talking. Now I feel guilty watching all those movies. Like, it's very good though in terms of perspective. Like, you know what I mean? Like to see another side of what you thought. You know what I'm saying? Like they touched on the magical Negro trope, and they were like, why would in the Legend of Bagger Vance, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Bagger Vance.
Booster Biggs. You know the masterpiece. ¿Cuál te dicen? The
How
Coen
about
movie?
the Will Smith and Matt
The
Damon?
Will Smith.
Oh, the Will Smith Matt
yes,
Damon movie. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. They were like, yes. Why wouldn't a black person in the 30s who's being running from lynching and everything want to help a white man with his golf swing? I was like, we're all racist. I was like, holy shit.
I forgot that. I never got around to seeing that movie, yo.
Bro, they do a very funny and informative way of going through all the list of the tropes. Yeah. And I didn't know about the whole. I know I had heard it before. It has a name that
the Wilhelm scream. You never knew about the Wilhelm scream?
You're acting. That's perfect analogy of this series because you knew the fucking name, and I'm here like, so you saw the show, and you're like, no, motherfucker, I studied cinematography. Like I know.
The Wilhelm de las cosas más famosas ever. I thought que. Okay, no lo digo por diminish. Es que yo pensé que ya Wilhelm Scream es tan y tan popular que just out of the sheer fact that probably people have heard in so many movies, people might be like, I've heard that shit before somewhere.
No, I've heard it.
I've heard it. Google search.
No, I never Googled it. How the fuck would you even Google that noise?
I think you would put that movie, that scream you hear in every movie. Search. I swear que you put eso. Dale. I swear.
It was very interesting though. It's very interesting. I recommend everybody watch it. If you're not gonna get educated by what you see, you don't give a shit. The one thing it does is make you want to watch every fucking single movie they talk about.
That's cool.
Like I was watching it, I'm like, now I want to watch all these fucking movies.
Yo, dead ass. I just Googled the scream from every movie, and the Willem scream came out.
Oh, really?
Literally, I Googled that scream from every movie, and it did come out.
It never occurred to me even to find a background about it. Honestly, I'm just like, oh, I've heard that scream before. Oh, we're gonna use that. And it's used. They were like, it's used in like so many fucking movies, like movies that you're like, we're here for a serious experience, motherfucker. That scream is in there. That scream is in there. It's in a Tarantino movie, and they use it in such a pivotal scene. I'm like, oh, you blew that fucking scene. Like it's not even serious to me anymore. Like it's not.
They have a top.
Now
10.
Espérate, Miguel. Now you literally understand de que yo llevo conciencia, loving film and studying film. Film has lost all meaning to me porque ese tipo de cosa would ruin the scene for me because I'm conscious of what it is. Ese es el problema.
Next time I see that shit, I bet you like I'm gonna be totally invested in the scene, and if I hear it, I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you guys."
So that's you
didn't have to do that. Like, honestly, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah,
dude. Did you remember that Tarantino movie? Where it's called? Is it called Drive?
Tarantino didn't do a movie.
No, Death Proof.
Death Proof.
The car movie. Yeah.
Death Proof. The scene where. Have you seen the movie? Before
La goma que
no, but Nick, I don't know if Nick's seen it.
Oh, nigga, I saw it in the movie. The grunge house.
Okay, all right, perfect. They use it in the scene where he literally decapitates the whole fucking team of girls. Yep. I was like, what?
Yep.
That's such a memorable scene, and now you've cheapened it for me, you son of a bitch.
No, because for him, it was the whole point of the reference.
That's what I'm saying,
grindhouse. So there's a context to it as to why he put it there. Yeah.
And they were literally explaining that exactly. They were like, they know what they're doing. They totally know.
I don't think I need to see this then. Do I need to see it?
They were literally like, they know exactly what they're doing. It's not totally on deaf ears. They're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a little moment or whatever.
It's
so
like
honestly, it's a funny little fucking docu, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it for everybody. It's very informative, especially for me. Like I always come at things like I told you guys. I never studied cinema. I've just always loved movies, and I'm always from the point of a consumer. You know what I mean? So to see a little behind the scenes magic or shit explained to me in like a duh type way, it was pretty fucking cool. I recommend it. You guys should watch it. Cool. Nick, Rick and Morty. Do you want to talk about it?
I'm sure. Where are you at? You're in right?
No, I'm in this last season.
Are you in season 5?
I'm in season 5, and I just saw the Captain Planet chick episode or whatever.
No está tan far ahead.
Yeah, I'm not that far ahead. You could technically say I finished season 4. That's it.
Yeah.
Season 4. Off the bat, I can tell you this is a show that there's episodes like every episode entertains. There's certain episodes where I'm just sitting and watching, and I'm not laughing out loud, but it entertains me. I find it funny. I'm just not laughing. And then there's other episodes where I have to pause it because I'm fucking laughing so hard. Off the bat, up till now, I know for a fact my favorite episode has been the Purge episode. That's been my favorite episode so far.
The Purge episode, describe it so I could just refresh my memory.
There's an episode where Rick and Morty are flying around. They go to a planet, I think, to get washer fluid for the windshield. And the guy goes, yeah, we have it, but you might want to leave before the sun goes down. And he's like, why? Because we have one day where we picked it. He's like, oh shit, you guys have a purge? So he talks Morty into staying there.
Yeah.
And they stay and they're just looking around at seeing everything. And Rick is looking and he goes like, oh wow, look at oh wow, this really you know what? And he throws up and he's like, oh, this is kind of a little too intense. I think we should leave and shit. So while they're leaving, Morty sees this young teenage chick about to get like killed by like 3 guys or whatever. He goes, oh, we gotta save her. We gotta fucking save her. And Rick is like, no, fuck that. We out. He was like, you dragged me here. We gotta fucking save her. Let's go down. They go ahead. They fucking save the chick. Rick shoots the guys and shit. And Morty gets the girl. And Rick is like, oh, let me go down. So he shoots the guy. And he's like, wait a minute. This is kind of fun. Wait, give me a minute. And he just starts killing people like left and right and shit. He's like, oh, wow. I'm really fucking purging here. He's like, starts killing everybody. Yep. They take the girl, and the girl goes, please take me to my grandmother's house. I gotta save her. And Rick is like, all right, whatever, yo. He goes to the house, and she's like, come with me. So they go to the house, and you see a bunch of flashes. And then the chick runs out, and she had fucking shot Rick. And she takes Morty, and she tells Morty to get out the ship. She takes the ship, and she fucking flies away.
Yep. And they stranded them there.
Rick goes, Rick and Morty's there, and Rick is shot. And he's like, we just had to save the fucking girl, right? And so they're going around, and the people are trying to kill them. So he's telling Morty, you're going to have to start purging him. You know how Morty is. Oh, geez, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to do that shit, whatever. Later on in the episode, they find a way to send Summer a message. And then Summer sends them like a package. When the package gets there, they're surrounded. And it's like those suits that they have, like a fucking Iron Man suit, for better or worse or whatever. So he's telling Morty, hey, it's either us die or you start purging. Yo, Morty fucking lets loose.
Insane.
Insane. He got the taste for the bloodlust.
Yo, that shit was so. Rick was like, "Hey, you might want to call. Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck! Mind your fucking business. You don't want me to purge. You don't want me to purge. Yo, you just shoot at people." And fucking Rick is telling him, Morty, I think that guy is dead. Mind your fucking business. He's just shooting corpses, yo.
Yep.
The fucking see Morty let loose. The amount of profanity that comes out of Morty's mouth while he's fucking shooting people. Bro, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop fucking laughing. That shit was the most hilarious thing I saw.
I'll tell you one thing. I finally found one episode which I couldn't stand.
Oh,
and it was the episode where they're basically showing you that there's a whole shitload. I mean, they established that, but there's like decoy families.
Yeah.
Yo. Keep talking. I gotta go get the girl some nuggets. I'll be right back.
This fucking guy, bro. The one moment I had to go pee, you decide to also leave.
I don't gotta pee. I gotta give the girl some nuggets.
We're not gonna leave fucking Orengo here looking at himself.
I can monologue. I can monologue about something.
I have to feed my fucking children.
Okay,
bro.
feed your children, but be conscious that I have to go pee and we still have topics to talk about. So go. All right. So the episode where there were decoy families, I felt like this shit went way off the fucking rails to the point where I was just like, I was watching it. There are other episodes that go off the rails, like the time where they showed you all the same realities at once and they kept dividing the screen. And
that's
they were
fine
like,
with me though.
That was funny, but this one was just a little bit like, I really didn't find it entertaining or funny.
You're really not gonna enjoy season 5.
What? Really?
Did you not see me con Deck argumentando about season 5 for like an hour?
But I know, but I don't want to. I know that you didn't like season 5, but I try not to go in my head into too many details while watching it because I don't want to fuck up my own experience.
Enjoy it. But I'm surprised it took season 5 for you to find an episode you didn't like. Eso sí me sorprende.
I actually like a lot of the episodes. Like in the past, there wasn't an episode where I didn't think it didn't have a redeeming quality to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there wasn't one episode where I was just like, okay, it did this shit which I didn't like, but this was kind of funny in the episode. It made me laugh or whatever. The episode with the decoys was it was a little bit too much to me. It went a little bit way off the fucking rails. And for what purpose at the end? So just say that it was them killing the families all along. Like,
Yeah.
I was fond that, like, I was like, oh, really didn't appreciate that joke.
Ya que ha llegado season 5, what do you like of the idea, or if you don't like it, the idea about being episodic versus serialized? Where, as you can see now,
I saw the tone shift, and I saw even the way they address their fans of
Yes.
like don't fuck with us too much because we'll give you what you don't like.
I mean,
Like-
there was
like,
a literal
to
Nazi Morty diciendo, "Stop it! Let's have fun, just fun adventures."
But
Keep
it was
light."
also I was like, wow, to the point that you would go to address your fan base in the show. I was like, you're playing with fire there a bit. Like, you need to fucking be careful because there is such a thing as fan backlash.
I mean,
You know what I
it
mean?
all has
Like-
to do. It all has to do with Pickle Rick. It all goes back to Pickle fucking Rick.
Time out. Okay, let's talk about that.
Oh, Pickle Rick, dale.
You don't like that episode?
Oh no, I love that episode.
Oh,
But
okay.
The way of the fan reaction to the episode es lo que yo creo que Dan Harmon, cuando vio todo lo que estaba pasando, dijo, okay, fuck this shit. I gotta shift gears. A mí no me está gustando este fucking viaje. Y no es como que él esté elevado. Es que yo creo que al people not, por lo menos el general consensus seems to be that people don't seem to understand the point of that episode. They just seem to be like enjoying a trip, which is cool,
Exactly.
and that's fine. Pero they seem to miss the whole point of the episode. Que es como
Exactly.
que-
It's like literally went through all that shit just so the
Exacto.
character would not have to be exposed to all his family drama, which in fact is like he's so egotistical that like he
Yes.
does not even want to deal with his own shit.
Exacto.
He'll go through a fucking multi-universe drama just so he won't admit to the fact to himself that he has feelings about something. Like,
Por eso
I
mismo.
was like,
So, cuando
what
tú
the
tienes
fuck?
eso and people literally, it flies over the head because Pickle Rick and
Yeah.
literally screaming Pickle Rick. And I get it because it's a meme. And I understand that a lot of people probably in the fan base mismo don't understand what the episode was about. The loudest voices, that's what it seemed to be. Y
Yeah.
entonces yo creo que Dan Harmon, writers in the writing room, purposely como que se fueron a ese viaje diciendo, okay, we're not liking how that's going, so let's just shift gears y hacerlo un poquito diferente. Con mi conversación con Cody, this was very insightful porque yo le tiré, I kind of posed a question in the nicest way possible porque I know he works for them, so yo no quiero que tampoco se joda.
Yeah, of
So
course.
what I did was like, hey, there's people that have kind of argued the fact that que there's been a shift in gear from being serialized to being como que episodic. Y lo que él dijo esto fue interesante. El approach parece ser, y well, I gotta take his word because he does have insight, que el approach parece ser que aunque se siente episodic, which is true, es algo que no se puede negar, he still believes that there is serialized character development, a pesar del mero hecho de que it is still episodic. So,
Okay.
como tú ves el episodio, por ejemplo, el de Morty, with the Captain
I forgot her
Planet
name.
Girl,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
there was character development to his character ahí, que aunque she will never be addressed again, because these episodes are going to be episodic, te lo voy a spoilear straight up. These
Okay.
episodes hasta el final are going to be episodic.
Wow.
Entonces, but his character arc y lo que pasó allá con ella does kind of factor a little bit a lo que pasa towards the end. Y también Rick's character, aunque ha sido episodic, porque desde empezando de season 4 se convirtió episodic in nature, there are still subtle things that do happen que factor into their character development, maybe in more subtle ways, porque como un poquito aquí, un poquito aquí, un poquito aquí, but they
Yeah.
do factor in cuando it does become serialized o cuando llegamos to the season finale of season 4, for example. So cuando él me dice eso, I'm like, okay, so maybe Dan Harmon isn't very spiteful, even though it really seems like that, and it still might be the case, pero quizá maybe Cody's being nice about it because that's his boss, whatever.
Yeah.
Pero the way que parece que él lo está viendo, la perspectiva que él ve de esto, y granted, he only wrote season 7, so lo de él ain't coming for a long while. I don't even know qué los storylines. He
Season
does know.
7.
Oh yes, he does. He didn't even write season 6. He wrote season 7. That's how far ahead they are.
Jesus.
They're into season 7. So él vio season 5 completo de antemano. Él vio las maquetas y los guiones de season 6.
How do they stay so current? How the fuck do they stay
Maybe
so
it's the-
current?
it's
Because
the brilliance of Dan
Nah,
Harmon's
dude,
writing
there's
style.
some very satanical time traveling shit going on in that studio. because I'll let you go. I'll let the
Dale.
fucking. I will let the
Ajá, ajá.
the COVID reference slide way
Yeah.
before it's time. Okay.
Okay.
But then how the fuck do you go all the way to season 7 and you're gonna tell me that what they say is gonna be relevant when it comes out if it's already written now? Like,
Hay que ver. Maybe there might be little tweaks, pero en esencia yo estoy seguro que saca lo que se queda porque it's written. You gotta animate that shit. You can't go back to it tampoco. O sea, como que no puedes
Christ.
go back too much to
that
it.
Dan Harmon might be the motherfucking craziest, most awesome writer I think I've ever. If it's like that, like.
Él es bien metódico y eso es algo que se nota a simple vista. Go me.
I gotta pee. Don't
Go
jump
pee.
from the subject because I got a statement to make.
Gotta go pee.
All right, so do a little retread. What happened? What's already in 7?
So que Cody, ¿verdad? Él escribió Season 7. Él está en el writer's room de Season 7. So él vio Season 5 completo de antemano y le había visto como que las maquetas, the loose de esto, y entonces vio probablemente los guiones. So that's how he can work on Season 7 because obviously he has all this knowledge que obviamente él no puede divulgar porque si no literalmente lo destruyen. Pero que lo que él estaba diciendo era, y ya que tuviste Season 4, por lo menos we can discuss this, que hubo un shift of being serialized a being episodic. So, donde había todos estos episodios que estaban interconectados, cambiamos a Season 4, donde empezó a sentirse very loose. Al punto de que el mismo show addresses the fact de que, don't think about it, we're just gonna have fun, stupid adventures. I mean, there's a literal Nazi Morty diciéndote, shut up, let's just have fun. Stop thinking about it. Stop making all of this like deep and shit. Let's just have fun, light adventures. Which is like screaming at the audience, shut the fuck up. We just want to have fun adventures. Lo cual a Cody, yo se lo menciono, dije, like, people have been discussing the thing of how it shifted from being serialized to episodic. What do you think about it? Y en lo que me discutió, que eso que le dije a Mig, era que Cody, como él lo ve, es que, sure, it has shifted to be more episodic, y a veces es serialized, pero it is more of a character arc serialization, donde cada episode será episodic by nature, pero los personajes y lo que aprenden does reflect later on, and it does interconnect on a character level.
Okay.
Y yo me quedé como que, that's a nice interpretation. Yo no me había percatado de eso, but it does make sense because some episodes pasan cositas interesantes in terms of the character que I do see them lingering de episodio a episodio, aunque son episodic and just fun adventures in nature. Y ahí es donde nos quedamos realmente.
All right.
So yeah,
I'm just barely into Season 4 now, so
yeah.
Did you see the what is it called, the Violators episode?
The Revengers or something.
That shit fucked me up. Yeah. It fucked me up because I'm sitting down, I'm watching it, and the title is like the whatever.
Revengers 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did I skip those episodes? So I'm going
Happened
back
to me
and
too.
looking.
Happened to me too. Yeah, happened to me.
I was mad as fuck. I was like, I don't see. I like that because when the episodes finish on HBO Max, you go down, you put next episode, and on the other side, they start taking like bonus content, music videos. So I'm like, did this shit come out like a bonus content? Did I fucking miss it? Am I lost in shit? And then I looked, I was like, no, this is just, they just fucked me up like that. It never existed.
That episode, that to me, the one that stand out the most, like the ones that are fresh in my head. That episode, it was fucking hilarious. The one where
there's no nuggets. Those nuggets are over.
The one where the sister like augments her breasts, like that episode to me was fucking hilarious. And then the one where Morty gets that redo device.
Oh my god, so tragic.
Dude, what the? I was literally like, you're gonna go that deep with these characters? Like, what happened to Haha Funny Time? Like,
Haha Funny Time here.
Did you see that episode, Nick?
Tell me again. The one where she augments her breast. And
giant. That was hilarious to me. The one with I forgot the first one I mentioned.
The one with the
Revengers. The Revengers.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the one where he gets the redo mechanism.
Yeah, the redo button.
The redo button?
No llegado.
I don't think that's in the fourth one though.
No, it's in the fourth. It's the first season. It's in the first season. Trust me.
In the fourth season?
Lo digo porque the character arc de Morty en ese episodio se parece bien similar a lo que le está pasando con Captain Planet.
Exactly. That's what I was like. That's what I was saying. I was like, ese episodio más memorable para mí que el de Captain Planet.
I agree.
Yeah, I didn't see. I don't think I've gotten there yet. I don't remember any redo episodes.
All right. No llegado to salvar episode, which is so fucking amazing.
The vat of acid.
the bat of fucking acid. I llegaba ahí porque eso se queda lo último. It's like episode 7 or 8.
I think the last
So good.
episode I seen was the toilet bowl episode.
Oh my god, it's so tragic too. The one where he
I
has,
think
to,
that's
where he has
the-
a toilet one in space and shit, and he like discovers that someone's using it.
And he goes and he wants to kill them, but he doesn't. And then he makes this big plan to make the guy feel like shit. He finds out that the guy kills himself, and when he sits on the toilet, like
Yeah.
all these imaginative bricks come out. You piece of shit! That's why nobody fucking loves you. Like that shit.
Bro, that's like I took that as like literally like social media.
Yeah.
Like the effects of social media. Like that's the way I took that episode.
That
Not social
shit
media,
was-
like you know, Facebook or
That
But wait,
shit-
how did you take that? How did you take that then? You took it as him making fun of the guy, or did
Me?
you take it?
No,
Yeah.
I took it as like when people sandbag the shit out of somebody, that literally proving your point to the sandbagging somebody with your point to the fact that it literally depresses the shit out of them and makes them want to kill themselves.
Oh wow, I had a whole different interpretation of
What
that.
did you take? What did you get it?
My interpretation was porque a través de la jornada con Rick, he's kind of like there is a sense of he feels sympathetic to this guy, but obviamente he doesn't want to address it porque obviamente Rick es alguien bien
Exactly.
duro para
Ego.
esto, and he doesn't let anything emotional como que le toque. So the way I interpreted was que cuando él hace ese whole hologram y ese spiel y otra sabía le diciendo, you're a piece of shit, whatever, y que sí, okay, haha, enjoy your fucking toilet, era actually un regalo para el tipo, and it was his way of showing emotion and showing that that guy actually touched him in a way that few people ever do to him.
And he
Y era
can't
como
even-
because the way of the fact that él dijo, you get to keep your toilet, so fuck you, y que sí o qué, y le está dando un crowd of shit, yo lo vi como que, oh, because Rick doesn't go through a lot of shit unless it has purpose. Y el episodio que refleja eso es el de los Revengers, because he did the whole Saw thing to
Oh my
make
God.
it a point, not for Morty, even though that's how Morty took it, era para el Mr. Poopy
Yeah.
Butthole number 2.
Noob noob.
No,
Noob
exacto,
noob.
Noob Noob, because he really loved Noob Noob. And he, because
That
again,
shit
Rick
was
doesn't do
fucking
big
hilarious,
shit.
yo.
He doesn't do elaborate shit unless it's for people that actually touch him. So that's how I
That
took
shit
it.
was fucking
Now,
funny.
now you made me feel like the people that fucking saw the Pickle Rick episode for just the fucking.
No, but es que that's how, qué sé yo, cabrón, that's how I interpret it. Fuck
Wait,
you.
what happened with the Pickle Rick episode?
We were talking about how the Pickle Rick episode has so much more deep meaning in terms of the person that Rick is, and a lot of people. I remember when that fucking episode came out, everybody was just fucking, I'm Pickle Rick, and they just saw all the action and the fucking debauchery in it. They didn't see how this is the length a fucking person will go to literally not
avoid.
confront his own bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Not break down his ego and be open with his family and his own shit or whatever. There's a lot of fucking layers in that show, which I'm like, it does so many things at once. That was the one thing that was really impressive. I kept on watching it or whatever. So you don't regret watching it, Nick? That's what we're getting at.
No. Like I said, for me, I take it like I take The Office. I like The Office. I think The Office is very funny. The Office doesn't make me die laughing every episode. Like there's episodes where I find what's happening funny. I'm just not, like laughing my ass off. But I truly find it to be funny. Rick and Morty is the same. Like there's a lot of episodes where if, like, I would make the shittiest reaction videos because I would be there like this. I generally find it funny. I'm just not laughing my ass off every episode. But then there's episodes where like I'm fucking like my stomach hurts. Like I'm fucking generally like laughing at some of the shit that happens.
Did you like the episode real quick before we stop this? Two things. Did you like the episode with the multi-dimensional cable, the first one?
The first two, yeah. I thought it was funny. I like that one. Yeah.
That guy improvising all drunk and shit is so
Bro,
hilarious.
you know my mother, Nick. You know, I was this close to picking up the phone and be like, let's be real with each other. Was I planned? Was I one of those pregnancies that just happened and you just dealt with the consequences thereof? What, I was conceived in love, or was it just like, well, I know you've shown me love my entire life. Come on, let's have a real talk about the day that you found out you were pregnant with me, because you already had my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There was a definite what? Are you sure? Are you sure though?
I'm the middle child, bro. I'm the middle child. So it was funny because that episode made me think like they had my sister. That one was intentional. I could have been the one that wasn't warranted, and I for sure know they were trying to have my brother. So,
Maybe because they had you, they were like, we need another one.
Oh,
Creating the taste of the.
For a moment, I thought you were gonna say something.
Nope.
I mean, I don't think I actually know a person that had their kid on purpose. I think they're just doing the deed and it happens. I don't know people that
Like
plan
the
their
first
kids
one
ahead
you
of
mean?
time.
The first one you mean?
Any fucking kid.
Okay.
Like me personally, obviously there's people that do it, but I don't personally know somebody that was like, yo, let's start trying to purposely have a kid. Let's say whether your dates that you're ovulating,
speaking
like
from
to do it on purpose,
the
not just sex.
experience, or
what?
Are you speaking from the experience?
Hey, all I'm saying is be very careful because YouTube's day of permanent data, like it goes really fucking far. Like,
bro,
you know why your girls to see this video like maybe 7 years from now and be like,
bro, they already gonna know. I didn't do that on purpose. That just happened. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
fair enough.
I was taking part of the activity. That's what happens. That's one of the consequences that can happen when you do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell them the story you told me. She got you drunk. No, I'm kidding.
Very similar.
Anyways, I was waiting for you to closing comments on the show. I was expecting you to come in here and say like, I really just don't get the jokes. I'm not like it. So then I could use all the fucking with all the love and joy in the world. I could use the thing that was thrown against me. Oh, maybe you're just not smart enough for the comedy.
Sorry,
I
got him.
I had that one in the fucking chamber. I was like, please
son.
let me use the one that everybody used on me for a long time.
Drop the bullet out, bro. Drop the bullet out. You can't use it.
For Rick and Morty. You know how many times I was just like, but it was my own fault because I was judging the whole show for the first 2 fucking episodes or whatever. And I was like, I really don't like it. It's not funny to me. It's not really. And they were like, well,
that happened to me.
Comedy goes over your head. And I was just like, wow, that's a douchebag thing to say.
That happened to me a lot like how it happened in The Walking Dead. Like I didn't enjoy out of both shows. I didn't enjoy the first seasons as much as I enjoyed it later on. Like I thought the first season of Rick and Morty was good, but I was like, let me push myself because everybody keeps saying it gets funnier and funnier as it goes. So let me push myself. Once season 2, like season 1, the very ending, I was fucking laughing my ass off. It was just because of the vulgarity. It was like, we finished season 1, motherfucker. Like that shit had me laughing. When season 2 started, I started enjoying the whole show as a series.
Yeah.
You've been watching the post credits?
No.
Oh my god, do you skip them?
I skip once the credits go. I like
each episode.
Every episode has a stinger.
Every episode has a stinger.
I haven't watched not even one. Wow. Now I gotta do all this shit. Oh,
so stingers como de un minutito, pero ya. And they're actually clever, and some of them connect con los episodios.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But are you saying every single episode since season 1?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe el piloto no tiene, pero estoy seguro de 2 onwards. Pues there we go.
It does. It's not as good. I would say it's not as referential as the other.
Oh no, of course. Pero sí, for sure, cada episodio tiene un stinger.
I haven't seen not even one. As soon as the credits
start,
next episode.
The end of season 1 has Mr. Poopy Pants literally giving a monologue like, "Wow, how the hell are we gonna top that?" Wait till you see, like, it's funny. It's pretty good.
I'll say this, eso pasa con muchos shows de televisión, especialmente los que no son streaming based, que me he percatado que shows memorables como por ejemplo Parks and Rec, The Office, Rick and Morty, they don't have the best first seasons. Parks and Rec, you could argue the first 2 seasons are fucking trash y no se pone bueno hasta que llega Adam Scott y el otro into the mix. Tú tienes The Office, the first season, como trataba de ser el UK version, it wasn't fucking working. No fue hasta como un cierto episodio que se dieron cuenta, okay, this is not clicking, we have to readjust very quickly. Yeah. Y eso tiene mucho que ver con la forma que you deliver these shows anteriormente versus ahora que como todo de cantazo, you don't have time for reflection. So cuando tus shows se están haciendo, there's still some time for course correcting. Claro, Rick and Morty no pudo pasar por eso porque esto es animado, pero ya tú ves para el segundo season, todo shifts gears, ya estamos acostumbrados, ya sabemos que estos personajes funcionan, ya nos sentimos cómodos, yo creo que es la parte key. These writers feel comfortable in the thing that they set up. So now that they got that baggage out of the way, they como que ser awkward, no saber qué funciona, qué no todavía, they're still tanteando. Cuando llegan a season 2, a lot of these shows feel very comfortable in their setting to be able to be like, okay, now we're very sure of what we're doing, boom, y lo tiran. No pasa con todos los shows, hay shows que decaen season by season, y el primer season es lo que está bien cabrón, because they probably have a very good idea of what they wanted, and then when they're proposed more seasons, they kind of don't know where the fuck to go with it.
On the post credit things, I think HBO Max, the app, needs to fucking get their act together though, because it does it a huge disservice because it throws that the timer.
Next episode,
el timer you can ignore it. A mí me pasa en HBO. I've been actually rewatching cuando estoy comiendo. Sale el timer, pero if you dismiss it, sé que no pasa con todos los shows, but if you just ignore it, it will flow hasta el final.
Are you watching it on the computer or on a tablet?
On my computer.
On the app on the app on my TV, it does not.
It does
on
not.
The app on my TV. That's why I said that it does it a big. But I noticed that on my computer, it doesn't. If I do it on the TV, it does that.
Pon el timer y como sabe que hay un stinger at the end, el timer tumba y te deja. Si hubiera sido, por ejemplo, Titans, como sabe que hay un carajo más, rápido va a arrancar para el otro.
No, acá sale una barra y literalmente cuando se llena la barra, brinca al otro episodio.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a huge disservice because it should know algorithmically que queda algo como hace Netflix.
Yes.
Netflix sabe que si hay algo al final, they're not gonna skip it because they know que hay algo algorithmically que no son créditos y queda algo al final.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another testament to the HBO just fucking throwing their app out there and
sí, no, y no arreglando y tweaking como Dios manda. You're right. Yep.
All right, Nick, you got your voice out. He froze.
Oh God,
he froze.
It's fine.
No, I didn't freeze. I was literally just standing still.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I don't even know if I want to hit this topic now or wait for like next week because not everybody's here. I was just literally just gonna talk about horror movies.
Well, it's
you already mentioned it.
3 hours 40 minutes. Como tú quieras.
What do you want to do? You want to talk about what we're looking forward to? You want to talk about the genre, or what do you?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the genre. I didn't want to talk because I want next episode.
Deep. That's deep.
All right.
Pero pues cógelo para después. I mean, it's we're
closing comments. Closing comments.
Season, so.
Horror. It scares me.
No, but we have spooky season. You can do this in another episode easily. Okay. It is like the relevant thing to talk about.
You're gonna have to edit this shit out.
This is the stinger at the end, guys. We're gonna talk about spooky stuff next time.
But yeah, I'm gonna do that thing that I did with the villains of the MCU. Have that bracket for like
spooky movies.
The best horror. I gotta go. It's daddy time, bro. It's daddy time. They high on sugar. They're going crazy over here.
Okay, daddy time.
Do you guys want to? Do you want to continue talking?
No, we're done. I think we've run 3 hours and 40 something minutes, so almost 4 hours of us bullshitting. So.
Another great episode.
Another great ending too. Just totally nonchalant, no editing. Just hey,
no, just
everybody
all right, motherfuckers, we out.
Nice.
Okay. Well, do you want to say where you can find yourself? What I know. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You can find me here. You guys. También puedes conseguir en Cine Nerds, que el episodio pasado tuvimos the best and worst rated movie on IMDb, and we talked about both. También puedes conseguir The Movie Guy.
Are you guys gonna always do that moving forward? I have a bone to pick with you guys.
The IMDb stuff? No.
Is it gonna be pre-recorded?
For this month, I think it's going to have to be porque tengo a Isabel. Yeah,
they're working on Saturday. So
and we want to have them in the show porque si no tenemos nada. O sea, porque va a estar 2 people missing.
You guys get a pass then.
Yeah. I know. I'd rather it could be was live, pero I know. Entonces, pues you can find me también en Movie Guy, you can find me in Cardboard Cave, you can find me in Subtitles Required y en mi podcast. I'm trying to see cuál va a ser el próximo episodio. It seems likely that it's going to be on Halloween Kills. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to go with the algorithm and talk about a movie que va a salir cuando salga, and I'm just gonna talk about it basically ese mismo fin de semana or like a few days later.
That's October
17th.
17th.
Are you gonna just talk about the movie, or are you gonna get into like the history of the Halloweens?
We might, dependiendo de cuánto la película haga eso. I'm just gonna bring a bunch of my friends, como lo mismo que traje para another round, como es spooky season. Pues yo les dije como que let's talk about a horror movie because you guys are actually more versed than I am in horror. Y por alguna estúpida razón, I recommended like stuff like The Wailing, like really cool, obscure horror films. Y me dijeron, but Halloween Kills though. Eso sale yo. Okay, guys, let's just talk about Halloween Kills. I guess let's do that. So we're gonna be talking about Halloween
Midsummer or some shit like that. And
no,
like,
to be fair, ya lo hice, so thank God. Pero
it's like, guy with a knife.
Yo les dije, we can do obscure stuff, guys. That's kind of my point. It's como que, no, Halloween Kills. Let's play with the algorithm.
That's funny, yo.
Fucking help and dale. So we're gonna do that. But I guess I'll try to like diverge it un poquito, maybe the history, or maybe even talk about like the other interpretations of Halloween. I don't know. Like we'll see how it goes.
You should
go in mad deep. But somebody was like, we should watch Scream.
Scream is cool, pero really, like,
you should do movies that aren't horror movies.
Okay.
But the more you think about it, they get scary. Like like Toy Story. Toy Story is a kids movie. But like imagine if Toy Story was real. Like imagine if you had toys and these toys are alive and shit. Like how many toys have you thrown in the garbage since your childhood?
Yeah.
How many times have you broken their arms and shit? Yeah. Like what was that movie?
Puppets.
Sausage Party?
Yeah, Sausage Party.
Remember that they got to see the other hot dogs getting cooked and cut up and boiled, and how like terrified they were. Like I'm about to get fucking cut. Like that shit. That would have been cool. Like a movie that's not necessarily scary unless you really dig into it.
I dig it. So está medio creepypasta shit. I dig it.
But
ese próximo probablemente va a ser el próximo episodio, and I'll probably have another episode by probably the end of October-ish, or maybe even sooner. I might do something this week si consigo maquinar algo en la semana. But for now, that's what I have. So yeah.
When you guys do the list, you guys should have the same. It should number one should be on all of your list the same.
The Shining.
No, Luma. Anyway.
Luma.
All right.
So you did there.
That's a fucking horror film and a half. Luma and fucking Liberty, bro.
Yep.
Trying to get you're trying to get permanently blocked off of the internet.
I know, right?
Yeah, right. Liberty, huh? Liberty. Let's take some of that liberty away.
Anyways, you can find me here at XV in Richport, where all we do is basically tear each other down for our likes and tastes.
That's what we do. Our pastime is roasting.
It was funny. I will be honest with you though. I picked up the energy because I wasn't in the mood for this shit today. I don't think any of us were in the mood for this today. When we all signed up, we were like,
anyway, mad tired, bro. A whole fucking week with no fucking electricity going on and off. Fucking driving me crazy.
Oh, I was just partying yesterday. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm entitled.
In the land of the home and the yeah.
Fuck you, Rick. Go party now, bro.
Go party. Go nuts. In the land of the home of the free.
He was like a whole week without electricity. I was like, I was at a comedy club. I'm tired.
He was like, I was just banging.
Yeah, exacto. Pasando la cabrón.
Anyway,
I'll plead the fifth. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, I'm Lex. You can find XV on Richport on all social media links: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At the you can also find the After School Club. We have our own Instagram page just for that content, so you can find it out there. Very easy. The After School Club. And we will see you on Wednesday. Wait, am I frozen? What the fuck?
No, you're good. You're good.
No, you're good now. You're good now. Keep it going.
On Wednesday, we're gonna be talking about the finale of What If. So yeah, you can catch us Wednesday at 8, and then we'll see you again Sunday at 1. Until then, it's deuces. We see you guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
And it's later.